Good morning, I'm Eric Reeser. The NFL Scouting Combine continues in Indianapolis. On-field work begins on Thursday. Earlier this morning, Buckeye linebacker Arvell Reese told reporters he's already spoken with several teams, including the New York Jets, who won the second overall pick in April's draft. Reese also says he plans to participate in on-field work for edge rushers and linebackers, as well as run the 40-yard dash. Beau Bishop will join the program 30 minutes from now, live from Lucas Oil Stadium. In college hoops, number 21 Miami of Ohio made it 28-0 last night with a 74-64 win at Eastern Michigan. Redhawks are at Western Michigan on Friday. Also Tuesday, Dayton upset number 23 St. Louis 77-62. Number 16 Texas Tech ended Cincinnati's four-game streak with an 80-68 win in Lubbock. And the Buckeyes are in Iowa City tonight against Iowa at 9 o'clock. This update is sponsored by Uber Eats. Uber Eats has a great deal waiting for you at Old Bag of Nails. Get a buy one, get one free deal on burgers on the app. Terms apply. See app for details.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Beau Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
Talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy, Austin Ward. My good buddy, Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Barry here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then
rundown.
And then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only two guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, we're going to start the show on a First Friday edition, rating my take. Ryan Baker, Isaiah Jacob with you for the next 3 hours. Like you heard in the update, we're going to Indianapolis at 9:30 for the NFL Scouting Combine. Arvell Reese spoke earlier this morning. You had Sonny Styles speaking to the media as well. Some other Buckeyes will go as we get into the later parts of the morning, and then the on-field workout starts on Thursday. But I had two takes yesterday that I want both of you to let me know which one was worse. I said the NFL Scouting Combine is the biggest waste of time in sport, and I also said that the Cleveland Guardians would not lose a game in the Cactus League. For those wondering, the Guardians lost to the Dodgers 11-3 yesterday in Cactus League play. So I led my update with the Combine's the biggest waste of time in sport, but you've got Arvell Reese with a huge opportunity to make a bunch of money and probably drafted with the second overall pick by the New York Jets. And then what happened yesterday with the Guardians in Arizona. Now, I know we're doing a little bit of baseball. We're going to do Hey Guys at 11. So no Hey Guys telling Beau that we talked baseball because he won't see it.
So I think it's probably the Guardians going undefeated in Cactus League play because that was never happening.
It's disappointing.
Of course, that was never happening, and you said that in jest. Of course, a little bit, maybe, possibly, but
I never joke.
Yeah, that was never happening. And I still believe, and I get your point on the Combine, but I still believe that the Combine is very useful for some of the people that are there. Yeah. I don't know how useful it is for Arvell Reese. I don't know how useful it is for Sonny Styles. I don't know how useful it is for Carnell Tate and Caleb Downs. But I do believe there are some guys there that it is very useful for. So I think it was always the baseball take, Reese, even though it was said in a little bit of fun.
You try to avoid the announcer's jinx. I think that is the key, is avoiding the announcer's jinx. So if they hadn't lost yesterday, maybe like a couple days from now, it wouldn't be as bad. But since it was immediately followed up.
It was that afternoon.
Yeah, immediately followed up with a loss makes it worse. And the Combine is fun for the reason that it'll convince you that players like Anthony Richardson and really great athletes are going to be great NFL players, only for GMs to fall again to that same Combine trap.
I think recent styles are going to be both. They're going to be the workout warriors. They're going to be the tape freaks. They're going to be the interview darlings. And then they're actually going to produce on day one for whichever NFL team that gets to draft them. The interesting thing about Reese is he said he's going to do both edge rusher drills and linebacker drills.
Good for him.
So we talked about that versatility yesterday, and we'll continue to talk about it up until April 23rd, when you probably hear Reese's name in the top 5, is if you're able to show that you can succeed at both, you're going to make yourself a lot of money in the NFL.
And I think there's one thing that all Buckeye fans can agree on is Arvell Reese is going to crush it. He is going to kill it on these on-field workouts and these drills, and the numbers he puts up are just going to be freakish. He's so athletic. He's so big, and I think that's one of the things you can see already from some of the videos that you're seeing from the Combine this morning, and anybody that has been close to these guys knows just how freakishly big they are. They are definitely first guy off the bus type guys. So Arvell Reese, I don't know how much higher you could go because most people have him mocked at number 2 in this draft going to the New York Jets. So it's not like there's going to be a big rise of Arvell Reese. But when this dude works out, it's going to solidify everything everybody already thought and said.
Yeah, NFL Network's Bucky Brooks, I want to say it was, had a mock draft this morning that I saw David Bailey as the first defender off the board. He goes 2 overall to the New York Jets. And so I think that's going to be kind of where the separation is what these guys are able to do over the next couple over here, over in Indianapolis for the respective pro days, Ohio State's pro day, Texas Tech's pro day, and then what else they're able to do in that process before you get to April 23rd in Pittsburgh. Your Combine schedule is going to roll through Sunday. On Thursday, 3 o'clock tomorrow, defensive linemen, linebackers, and kickers are going to do the on-field workouts. So again, you'll hear and you'll see Arvell Reese participate in both for the defensive linemen and the linebackers. Beau Bishop, he'll join us at 9:30. He'll get his thoughts on what he's heard this morning, what he's heard from conversations over the last 24 hours. And we talked yesterday, Baker, about just the silly season of it all and how you get real information from guys looking to hear their name called in the NFL draft. And then you get a lot of nonsense from guys that are already in the league. Example number, 400 that it will say this week. This is from Adam Schefter this morning because the eyes of sport, most of them now, that you're through the Olympics. You've got the NBA returned last night. You've got NHL resuming its regular season starting tonight, but a lot of attention is going to be paid to the NFL. And Adam Schefter with something from probably Aaron Rodgers' agent, because number 8's never going to go a day without being discussed. But this morning, Adam Schefter says Aaron Rodgers will decide about his future, his 22nd season, by mid-March. Quote, the feeling is that he could come back with the Steelers, end quote. Well, yeah, no kidding. Thanks, Adam.
I feel like most people think that's what's happening, right?
I mean, it's either the Steelers or somebody else, or he doesn't play.
I mean, as soon as Mike McCarthy was hired by the Steelers, I figured that was all in an attempt to help bring Aaron Rodgers back for another year. I feel like if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back and play with the Steelers next year, I feel like I'll be shocked. That's what I expect.
You had, I think, Todd Monken will speak today in terms of head coaches. You had Zach Taylor speak yesterday. We'll have some sound from Browns general manager Andrew Berry. He spoke yesterday. We'll play that a little bit later on in the program. College football's at it again. You've got another quarterback that's suing, judge shopping for an extra year of eligibility. We'll get into some of that with Jake Trotter.
A lot of people go to school for 7 years.
They're called doctors. And I think I don't know. And it's one of those things where you go, can you please end the madness? Can this please just stop? We'll get Jake Trotter's thoughts on that and some of his thoughts on the NFL scouting combine, because it's a busy day for people that cover the sport, college football, and people that cover the NFL. We'll also do Hey Guys at 11, so get your Hey Guys questions into the program at 971BFS. We can also do them live in the YouTube chat. If they're appropriate to read on the air, believe me, we will read them. We've also got just advance notice of your emails. We'll try to answer as many emails as we can tomorrow, and we'll have Beau Bishop back, because I was talking with Joshua Perry yesterday, and I just wanted to let him know that while he's in Indianapolis, Beau's in Indianapolis, and I know they're great friends, and so I just said, hey, when you're there, to Joshua, you see the Browns set up at the convention center, go stop by and say hi to Beau. I'm sure he'd like to reconnect. And Joshua didn't know that Beau was going to be in Indianapolis, and I said, well, every year Beau does it like this. He goes to Indianapolis for a couple of days because it's just part of the job as de facto Browns general manager and host of this program, realizes he hates Indianapolis a day in, spends an extra day, and then comes home. Every single year, we do that song and dance. It's the I'm in Indianapolis. I have no reason to be in Indianapolis, or as Johnny Depp said,
I have absolutely nothing I want to do in Indiana.
And that goes for the combine. That goes for the Final Four. That city, that particular state, no interest. Realizes it and then decides to come home. So he'll be with us tomorrow on the program. as we get you set for a really busy couple of days in sport.
Do you think, real quick, do you think he'll bring us some Uranus fudge?
And if
you think he'll stop on the way home? And
if you ask him, I'm sure he would. I'm not a fudge guy, so.
And some fireworks. Pick those up at the border, too.
Same spots.
You can get those. You go 40 minutes east of Columbus, you can pick up fireworks.
I always see when I cross the border, it's always obviously the Uranus fudge, and then you've got the fireworks right there.
Beau could stop, have Wednesday night mass at the church right there, and then Uranus fudge, and be in Columbus in no time.
Eventually, we've just got to have some, right?
Yeah, I don't know why we haven't.
To your point, like we just might as well. We've been talking about this forever, and it's going to remain there forever in the border of Ohio and Indiana. So you might as well. But opportunity, really the theme of today's program. A big opportunity for Jake Diebler and the basketball Buckeyes tonight in Iowa City. But what kind of opportunity do the Blue Jackets have coming back from the second half of the regular season? We'll get into a little bit of that next. It's Bishop and Friends on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Men, we all know how important sex is in a relationship, both for you and your partner. But erectile dysfunction ruins sex, which can often have serious impacts on your relationship as well. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if ED is a problem in your life, you understand the impacts it has on you and the one you love. But I'm here to tell you that ED is a treatable condition, and almost without exception, you can have really good sex again. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men with protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, good sex will be the norm. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a level of intimacy for you and your partner that might just astound you both. It's time to have really good sex again, so call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
It's Skyway time at Skyline Chili. Come get your Skyline 3, 4, or 5-way with 50% extra cheese at no extra charge. Regular and large ways only at participating Skyline restaurants for a limited time.
Winning isn't everything, but at Tim Hortons, every day's a chance to win when you play Roll Up to Win. Maybe it's a free coffee or donut, or a year's supply of fuel from Shell. That goes a long way. Maybe it's a Kobo e-reader, or up to $1,000 in Uber Eats gift cards, or even a VIP getaway to see Cirque du Soleil. Okay, not something you win every day. Roll Up to Win, only at Tim Hortons. No purchase necessary, 18 plus, ends March 22nd, 2026. Tim Hortons app required for digital game. Use the app to reveal digital rules. Game cups while supplies last. Offer a chance to win food and beverage prizes only. See official rules at rolluptowin.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
Day 1, the hardest day. The day you hear,
this is a type of blood cancer.
At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1. To learn more and get help on any day, visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572.
This is Pause Before You Play, and it's time for more game day picks from local sports fans. You're on the air. Who you got?
Actually, I'm not betting, just chilling and watching the game.
I know that move, a pause. Sounds like you've got a winning strategy.
Exactly. After I set limits and recognized the risk, I knew it was time to stop.
Now that is responsible betting, folks. Sports are fast. Betting shouldn't be. Make a plan at pausebeforeyouplay.org. That's pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Do you have an oak tree in your yard? The Ohio Chapter International Society of Arboriculture is committed to advancing responsible tree care practices while preventing a fungal disease called oak wilt. They remind those who own and manage oak trees the best time to prune is November to early March. To find out more, there are over 1,000 qualified tree experts in Ohio. To find an ISA-certified arborist in your area, visit treesforohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Although we started off with some clouds, we will become sunny throughout the day today with highs getting into the upper 40s, but breezy winds will continue. For tonight, partly cloudy overnight with lows down into the 20s. Winds start to taper off, and then as we go into Thursday, starting off mostly cloudy, becoming sunny throughout the day with our highs getting into the low 40s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
During this 10-second promo, Rothman will lose money gambling on something.
People like you come here and blow the family nest egg that built this town.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. Distilled sports discussion served in light beer quantities. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Yes, you are. Reeser Baker, Isaiah Jacob with you until noon. In about 13 minutes, we'll go out to Indianapolis and talk with Beau. Well, I'm interested to see if he took in the podium sessions for Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese this morning. Styles, the Block O recipient last season, confirmed that he did meet with the Cincinnati Bengals earlier this week, who do have the 10th overall selection. So I wonder for Cincinnati, because it feels like they are going to take a swing on a defender again. Styles might be the one to kind of end their streak of swinging and missing defenders at that first round selection spot. But Styles asked what he brings: physicality, consistency, leadership. Yeah, those are boxes that NFL teams want checked. And obviously, if you receive the block out of Ohio State, you're checking those boxes before you step foot at the Combine in Indianapolis. But they'll do on-field work starting on Thursday. That includes the 40-yard dash. So it'll be not necessarily a dash to the end of the season for the Columbus Blue Jackets, but boy, it might feel like it. I was thinking this morning as I was walking Odie around the block that we've ended winter. It's done. In the mid-30s, there's an actual sunrise this morning. We're good. No more winter, right? I mean, we're probably going to get something in March, but I was thinking about all the bad takes I've had over the last 48 hours, and that was one of them. If I came out definitively and said, no, winter's done. We are now into spring.
There's not every year where it happens, but almost every year you get some spittle of snow in April. Almost every year.
A little bit more than spittle coming up in March, but it was nice to have today. Nice to see this week.
You talk about the Blue Jackets, though, in their sprint here to the finish. I was going through yesterday looking at their March schedule and filling out my calendar here at work with everything that I look at and put on there. The Blue Jackets in March, 17 games.
Hell yeah.
There are a couple 7-day weeks stretches where they have 4 games in that week. So it is a condensed schedule. The rest of the way, there's not a lot of off days, probably not a lot of practice time. So it's probably nice for most of these guys to get some practice here this week after a week off, because it's a sprint now to the end.
You'll have the Boston Bruins. That game is in Boston tomorrow night at 7. The league resumes things tonight. You'll have your eyes on New Jersey and Buffalo. So the Sabres are at the Devils. They'll be welcoming back New Jersey will Jack Hughes. Buffalo 5 up on the Jackets in the wild card. Boston up 4 points. So teams you're looking up at in terms of rooting interest for tonight. And then, of course, you're rooting for the Blue Jackets in Boston tomorrow. But they'll be back on home ice Saturday against the New York Islanders. That's a 6 o'clock puck drop for Saturday's game. We'll do some Shelley time on the program tomorrow at 11:30. But we had talked about the pretty decent Canadian number for USA and Canada in that gold medal game Sunday morning. Big numbers similarly in America. An average live audience of 18.6 million fans tuned in to watch that overtime thriller. The broadcast peaked at 26 million for that game-winning overtime goal. I had said this week, Kenny Albert was fantastic on that broadcast. Mike Tirico was great leading in, leading out. I thought NBC and Peacock really did a tremendous job with the Olympics. So I'm thrilled that they've got them, I think, through 2032 is what that deal is for the Peacock. And it's really, when you go through all of the apps and you're really seeing some interfaces just stink, that Peacock's kind of grown on me. And I think that's a lot of people I've talked to around here have had that same feeling, because it felt like it was something that was forced upon us as Ohio State fans, right? The Peacock, where you're getting at least one Peacock Ohio State football game every year, and then you get a couple basketball games. Like, I think tonight's against Iowa might be on Peacock. And so it feels like it was forced on us. But like with all the other apps that we feel like we have an obligation to get, this one feels like at least it's a decent interface. And the Olympics showed that, in that you could jump in, jump out, and really watch whatever sport you wanted to. And it provided a really cool experience at a time where there just wasn't much to watch.
So I have been someone that's had Peacock from pretty early on, because
an early adopter
they were you could get the WWE pay-per-views on there, and it was a cheap option. So I've had Peacock for quite some time, and I have always enjoyed Peacock. And it's so nice for the Olympics, because NBC and Universal has so many platforms, right? But they don't have enough to show every sport in the Olympics. They were showing some on CNBC, a lot of USA, a lot of NBC, but you could go watch anything you wanted on Peacock. So that was really nice. You just go in there, slide over to whatever sport you want to watch. The biathlon right now, you want to watch ski engineering or mountaineering or whatever it was, you want to watch speed skating, it was all right there. You could go select the broadcast for your certain sport, and that was it's nice to be able to do that.
NBC's gold medal game was the second most watched hockey game in network history, trailing only the USA-Canada gold medal game at the Vancouver Olympics in 2010. That was a 3:15 Eastern in the afternoon puck drop. It averaged 27.6. So, 8 o'clock Eastern time when the puck drop there is pretty good numbers. But for the Blue Jackets, who I think the worst thing that a fan of an NHL team could have experienced was with Sidney Crosby. And you see him go down in the quarterfinals. He didn't play in the semis. He didn't play in that gold medal game. And you would hope that would be the case. That would not be the case, I should say, for Zach Werenski. Here's head coach Rick Bowness on keeping an eye on Werenski's playing time after that Olympic stretch.
And I'm not worried about the ice time. I'm worried about the last couple of days. Yeah, right. The celebration. That's what I'm worried about. No, I know his minutes were down. I thought I would love the way he played, and he was making plays out there. He's very confident. So I'm not worried about that part of it. That's interesting. The last couple and the travel, like that's a big jump from Italy back to North America. That's a big jump, and that's going to catch up to him at some point. So we'll be monitoring him very, very closely. I'll have a good discussion with him on Thursday to see where he is, and we'll go from there. But he's too important of our team not to expect to play important minutes.
Yeah, if they're going to make a playoff push, you need him healthy, and you need his legs kicking.
I know we do this yesterday, but is that the real truth? Because I don't believe so. I don't believe for 1 minute. I understand
jet lag and a hangover?
And they'll be monitoring his minutes, because the only way his minutes get monitored against Boston is if you're up 5-1 or if you're down 5-1.
Sure.
That's it. Because if this is a close game, you need those 2 points, especially against that team, and that's your guy. And I understand the 17 and 31 coming up. That's a big deal. But I don't see Zach's minutes getting monitored the rest of the season unless you're in a game that is a blowout. If they need Zach Werenski tomorrow night to skate 31 minutes, guess what Zach Werenski's going to do? He's going to skate 31 minutes.
Yeah, and I think for him and every other team that's got Olympic players is probably just asking him, you good? And I don't necessarily know if it's much more of a conversation than that. If he's saying, I'm good and I want to skate, and there's no reason to believe that Zach wouldn't want to be out there from puck drop to the end of the game against Boston on Thursday and against the Islanders Saturday.
And we've already talked about this with the condensed schedule. Mm-hmm. There's probably not going to be a lot of practices the rest of the way out. There might be none for Zach Werenski because he doesn't need to.
He doesn't need it, yeah.
He doesn't need it. Just go ahead. Skates are optional for Zach moving forward. Practice, I don't think it's happening. Just go out there and be the workhorse that you've been.
So tonight and tomorrow night, you might see some clunky hockey to begin with because everybody's trying to get just reacclimated to playing NHL games. Here's Rick Bowness on talking about that return from the break for everybody.
It's for both teams, first of all. They've been off as we've been off. The challenges are to get that competitive spirit and get in the reads of the, like you can practice and set up scrimmage situations. It's never the same as what you're playing against when we play Thursday night. So, but it'll be the same for both teams. So it's more that, the timing and the physical contact. Like in practice, you're going to take a guy out in Boston, you're going to get hit. Yeah. Like there's a big difference, right? So you got to get used to that again, that when you're going for pucks, a good chance you're going to get hit pretty hard. So you've got to get ready for that intensity that's going to be coming Thursday night. And listen, these are playoff games for both teams, and they are. They don't have a guaranteed spot in the playoffs, and we're trying to catch them. So the intensity should be there.
From the playing standpoint, I get that. You could never replicate a game in practice like there is a game. It's just different. And the Boston Bruins, though, they had 8 guys participating in the Olympics. The Blue Jackets had 2. And Elvis Merzlikins was back early. He's been practicing with the team. So the Jackets have had practices with pretty much their normal roster, except for Z. And I know Z's a big part of that roster, but I don't think I'm worried about Z at all. So I think the Blue Jackets tomorrow night should be the fresher team in this. And hopefully from the rip, they go out and skate like that and take it to the Boston Bruins and are physical and are aggressive and maybe, you know, I understand a little bit of rust. You haven't played a game, but hopefully the Jackets are the crisper team, the fresher team because of that.
I am looking out for just a lot of happy feet and a lot of energy for tomorrow night in that first period between the Bruins and the Blue Jackets. 7 o'clock is going to be the puck drop. Thursday we'll have Shelley time tomorrow at 11:30, I should say. What I'm really looking forward to is Saturday night at 6 o'clock when Zach Werenski comes back to Columbus for a game against the New York Islanders, because both the Bruins and the Islanders, the next 2 teams you're looking up at in terms of the standings. This is a legitimate playoff push as you get into the month of March. We'll go out to Indianapolis in 2 minutes, talk with Beau Bishop on the Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Dr. Mark Levy can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring. Sleep better. Live better.
Hey, folks. Winter is here. The number one cost for everyone each month are those pesky heating bills that never stop increasing. It is time to take action and do something about it. Call USA Insulation today and get your home insulated with our premium foam for only $99 a month. Interest-free. That's right, $99 a month. You can have a warm, cozy home that you and your family deserves. 529-2440. 529-2440 or USAinsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
Remember what sunshine feels like? Windows open, birds chirping, everything looking fresh and new. Spring is closer than you think, and so are those home projects on your to-do list. Maybe winter left its mark. A small leak that's getting bigger, shingles that didn't survive the snowstorms, or siding that's clearly seen better days. Whatever your home is facing, our team of professionals at Newman Roofing are here to help. For more than 34 years, Newman Roofing has been helping homeowners protect what matters most. From your first phone call, you'll notice the difference. Passionate and committed people who care about doing the job right. And with over 1,000 5-star Google reviews, you don't have to take our word for it. If your roof, siding, or gutters need attention, call the family company you can trust, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof this spring, get a Newman roof.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Listen up. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Dr. Mark Levy's been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results. And now he has an office in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
What's up? What's up, man? What's up with you?
All right, here's what's up on a first Friday edition of the program. A dispatch from Indianapolis has from @Football Film Analysis on Twitter. First night in Indy and saw a middle-aged man in a quarter zip pee his pants and stumble into his hotel. We go out now to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. And Beau Bishop, you good?
You guys know me well enough. You know that one of the real rules that I live life by is to never be drunk in public.
So, no, that was not me. I'm able to control myself to a much better degree. And we were well within our realm of being home in the bed with plenty of time and with all of our dignity intact.
Beau, you were in a bar. They threw you into public, right?
Well played. Well played.
You drink
well played,
in the
Big.
bar, right, and you still have to make it home. Is it just a big party Monday and Tuesday nights?
It really is. I mean, there's so many surreal things. I mean, you walk down the main thoroughfare here, and you see, the cowboy buses parked at the Marriott, and you stumble into these places. We were at
Easy there, phrasing.
Some people stumble in, and you the people that you run into are crazy. Like this is a funny little story. So Nathan Zagura used to do a fantasy football show, and one of the guys who was a producer on that is now the producer for Rich Eisen. So last night we were at Prime 47 having a cocktail, and his money man comes over, and he's an Ohio State alum, great guy, awesome dude. He comes over, and we start having some small talk, and come to find out, he has been sending Rich my 3 things for like 10 years. So when, via text, to stick it to him on the Michigan stuff. So when Rich comes over, he goes, "This is Beau Blanken Bishop," which was amazing. It was so funny. I'd had Rich on the radio many times before, but I've never met him in person like that. So it was a really funny moment. And then he told some great Larry David stories and such. So that's the type of stuff that you get over here that are just these surreal things. So we did Elmo's last night. I'm going to tell you something. The rest of the world has a standard for how to cook meat, and St. Elmo is like, nah, we're good. We'll do our own thing. We're not worried about it. So last year, we ordered prime rib, and I've never ordered anything other than medium rare in my life. And Zagura was like, "I'm telling you, dude, order medium." I'm like, "I'm not doing that." So the prime rib comes, and it's a little bit maybe still alive. So I got through it because I'm not sending things back because I don't live like that. So I just got through it. So we're there last night. Prime ribs on the menu again, and you order it medium, and the guy goes, no, you're not going to want medium. Let's do medium, but we won't put the grill marks on it. Okay, fine. Let's roll the dice. So he comes out, and again, not medium rare, not medium, far not done, fat not rendered. I'm like, what is going on with this joint? Like, they're the only place in the world that does not accept the universal medium rare temperature. Like, there's a finite number that it has to be, and they're like, nah, we're good. We do our own thing.
That's
crazy.
That is great. So prime rib, the drink order. What was the drink order last night?
So they do their old fashioned. They do a vanilla old fashioned. So that was we did that. I did that one heading into, and then a little wine with dinner. So it was a really lovely night. Great night.
So, Beau, I know it's early on in the combine. You've had general managers talking, some of the players talking this morning. I always remember, and I was not a part of the show then, but I always remember listening to you talk about Kyler Murray and how right away there was a lot of momentum that Kyler Murray was going to be the number 1 pick, and then he was. Is there anything out there right now, even though it's early on in the process, that is gaining steam?
Yeah, I tell you what is kind of gaining steam to that end, and there's Buckeyes all over it. The consensus now being that there are, it feels like, 3 players that are the safest, and they just don't play premium positions as the NFL defines them. And so kind of the consensus is, what do we do with Caleb Downs? What do we do with Jeremiah Love? And then another name entered into that, what do we do with Sonny Styles? And Sonny spoke today, a lot of buzz around him over here. And so the question is, like, if those are the 3 safest guys, but they play off-ball linebacker, safety, undersized safety, I guess, by NFL standards, and then running back, how do you draft them? So that's been the overwhelming kind of thing, is like that Sonny has entered that mix with Love and Downs is like, well, what do we do with it? Like, how high can you draft an off-ball linebacker who's a sure thing? And I think that's kind of what Sonny has played himself into already over here. That's kind of the momentum that I'm hearing. So that is kind of the overwhelming thing, is that there's not going to be a lot of movement in this draft because nobody wants to give up picks in 2027, which, to use the word that's being tossed around over here, that feels like, for a lot of people, a generational draft with Jeremiah and all the quarterbacks. And so the draft will kind of stay how it is. Won't be a lot of trades. But those 3 guys who don't play premium positions, what do we do with them? Do you take a safety at 2 overall? The Jets just say, we're taking Caleb Downs. He's the surest thing. And so that's been kind of the overwhelming thing here a couple of days in.
It was floated yesterday that the Browns might trade out of the 6th overall pick to kind of do what you said and stock up on draft capital, maybe for a move next year or maybe for something, I guess, what would be in the late teens, early 20s with that 24th overall pick. How true, how much has that discussion been going on?
Oh, I think that you'd love to do that if you were the Browns, right?
Yeah.
You'd love to go from 6 to 12, still get the receiver that you like a lot or the tackle that you like a lot, but perhaps drop back, pick up an extra 2 or I don't think you're going to get a 1 in 27, but perhaps pick up another 2 so then you could maneuver a little bit. The problem with that, though, is you got to have a dance partner. So you got to have somebody come up. And so, like, when I think about, all right, well, what would be the type of player that people would go to 6 for? I suppose the right team with Love, maybe, right? If they view him as like a Saquon Barkley type, is that somebody that goes up to get him? Potentially Carnell Tate might be one of those. One of the other things over the course of yesterday's activities was kind of consensus that he was most people's number 1, and even if he wasn't number 1, he was number 2, but never lower than that. So, but then if you're the Browns, if you trade out of Carnell Tate, can you live with him being great somewhere else? And what does that look like, especially when you're so in need of weapons and such? So, yeah, I think ideally you'd like to, but kind of the consensus over here is you're not going to have anybody giving up anything significant in 2027 to move in 2026.
Andrew Berry, the general manager of the Cleveland Browns, spoke yesterday. Was there anything that you took away from anything Berry said?
I think I'm really interested to hear Todd Monken today and his thoughts on the quarterback situation. You heard Andrew say that they're open to it being an open competition going into training camp. I know I've talked about it before, but I think, look, Deshaun Watson is going to get a long look from Todd Monken for sure. Todd's seen him play at the highest level, and Todd's a little bit of a quarterback whisperer. So is that something that is in the offering for when we get into the offseason program and all of that? So I suppose hearing Andrew say that was interesting, that he's open, to that quarterback competition into camp. That jumped out to me. We knew about the JOK stuff, that it would, it's probably unlikely that he ever plays again. We've talked about that a lot. Trying to think if there was anything. Holding out hope for Bitonio, obviously. Those are kind of some of the headlines.
Well, it was, 10 teams that made NFL coaching moves in the offseason. Was it weird to see John Harbaugh up there in a New York Giants sweatshirt?
So that one was weird, but I'm going to tell you the one that was weirder is we are situated about the way they do this is like NFL teams by rows, right? So one team after another. And directly behind me is 2 rows over is the Atlanta Falcons. And we were over here doing some stuff, interviewing some guys, and I looked over my shoulder, and Kevin Stefanski was in the Falcons hoodie. And I was like, oh, yeah. I guess that happened. Like, that's somebody that, we would always talk to every year at the Combine. And of course, I've hosted his show and all of those things. And so this is a guy that's, been in the building for a long time. And then all of a sudden look over your shoulder and see him in a Falcons hoodie is that was a bit of an attention getter. So, yeah, those type of surreal things happen. John Harbaugh and Giants, just a strange look. The overwhelming coaching change was pretty wild. Even like I'd forgotten Robert Saleh was hired by the Titans. Like, those type of things are omnipresent over here, and it really is the only time that the entire league goes in one spot. So that's how you end up with that. All those GMs and coaches and some surreal sights. Yeah, but Stefanski and Falcons gear was jarring first time I saw it.
Beau, you talked a little bit about Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles and how people think they're among 3 of the safest players in this draft, and what do you do with them? There's 11 Buckeyes over there this weekend. Are there any other Buckeyes that are generating some noise outside of those 2 in Arvell Reese?
I think all the first-round guys, but I believe we had this when we talked on Monday, kind of with the Combine preview when we did that segment on Monday's show. But no, David Igbinosun is the one. He's the one that the league loves. They love the size, they love the physicality, all of the things that anybody would like with IGB, they like about him too. So that's kind of the one where there's a lot of talk around him. I'll tell you something else that was consistently discussed: Max Clare as tight end number 2. Behind Sadiq, and then Will Kazmarek as well as something that a lot of NFL teams 3rd, 4th round could have a lot of value. And it's interesting on Claire because we saw the production. We're like, boy, did he make a mistake coming back? But the really savvy people over here, I heard this great quote from Daniel Jeremiah about about Max Clare. He said, here's what people don't realize. Maybe it hurt his draft stock to come back, but going to Ohio State made him a better player and made him more prepared for the NFL because they put 25 pounds on him and they made him block. So, like, the smart teams see that and are understanding that while the production was better at Purdue in terms of him being an NFL player, that happened at Ohio State. So that's something that Max Clare is another one. Both those guys were mentioned, but Clare feels like he's a lock to be tight end number 2.
Bo, has there been anything over the last 24 hours that has changed your glowing opinion of the city of Indianapolis? Anything? Have they redeemed themselves at all?
They do an okay job of having tunnels so you can walk indoors most of the way around the downtown area. You can kind of go, for the most part, indoors and navigate around downtown. That's as good as you're going to get out of me with this place. There's not a single other thing I can tell you that I would say is positive. But you can navigate the downtown without going outside for the most part. And there's, I suppose, a win there.
Yeah, I mean, it was so negative yesterday. It skewed a little positive today, and we'll get you
easy
3 hours tomorrow. Maybe you could have a nice thing to say overall about the city of Indianapolis. Maybe.
Don't bet on it, Reese.
All right, bud.
Don't bet on it, brother.
Enjoy the rest of the day. Safe travels back. We look forward to hearing your thoughts on everything tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
See you boys tomorrow.
There he is, the host of Bishop and Friends, Beau Bishop, courtesy of the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. An opportunity for Jake Diebler and company. They could be getting some reinforcements. That's next. Bishop and Friends on the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-7098. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-7098. That's 800-575-7098. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. Offering the guaranteed best price is always our baseline. Wedding weekend adds an exceptional advantage. Join us February 27th and 28th and enjoy preferred bridal pricing on select wedding and anniversary bands with advantages up to 30% off, plus special no-interest financing on engagement rings. It's a rare opportunity to pair meaningful value with exceptional service and reputation that define Diamond Cellar. Discover Wedding Weekend February 27th and 28th at Diamond Cellar on Selma Road or at Easton Town Center.
Common Man here for my friends at Germain. Germain is having a huge President's Day sales event all month long at all of their Columbus locations. This month and this month only, all qualified pre-owned vehicles come with a 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on top of the $1,000 price promise. No one's going to sell you a car for less. With nearly 4,000 vehicles and 30 brands, there's only one website you need when shopping for your next car. It's GoGermain.com. That's GoGermain.com. Tell them Common Man sent you.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
Hey there, friends. It's Beau Bishop here. You've heard me talk about High Bank's award-winning spirits, but let's talk about the food. High Bank delivers incredible meals and handcrafted cocktails in a space that works for every part of your week. Start with happy hour, drinks with friends, come back for brunch worth planning your weekend around, then stay for dinner. And get this, kids eat half off every Monday. Great food, award-winning drinks, a reason to come back time and time again. Make a reservation today at a location near you at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Chronic pain can make life feel impossible, but at QC Kinetics, there's a breakthrough that's giving people real hope. Stem wave therapy.
It has fundamentally changed the way I look at cases after 30 years in practice. So when we talk about regenerative medicine, we're talking about these types of devices.
That's Dr. Tony DeCesaro, one of the nation's authorities on stem wave therapy.
Been around for about 30 years in Europe. Now it's really taken a real foothold. People are tired of just using pills that really cover everything up and they don't really heal.
This device is both diagnostic and therapeutic, helping the medical team at QC Kinetics find the problem and trigger your body's natural healing response.
It's about giving hope, right? That there are options.
QC Kinetics. Harness the power of stem wave and get relief now. Call for your consultation here in Columbus, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Right Way Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Pull up a stool and ask the bartender for something neat, because Uncle Beau is on the radio. This is Bishop and Friends.
Before we get to the huge opportunity, a huge quad one opportunity that awaits Ohio State tonight in Iowa City. On the hardwood last night, Miami of Ohio made it 28-0 with a 74-64 win at Eastern Michigan. The Redhawks look for 29-0 Friday at Western Michigan. If you missed the news earlier this week, their finale March 6th. So that would right now be 31-0 if Miami continues to win. They're in Athens for the final game of the season. It was supposed to be, Baker, a 2 o'clock tip-off from the Convocation Center Friday, March 6th. It's now a 9 o'clock tip-off from the Convo. A little bit of a difference there, but they flexed that game to ESPN2 again as Miami looks for history. Not since 21 Gonzaga has a team started hotter in college hoops.
So, Reese, they have 3 games left. That one at Western Michigan this Friday that you mentioned, 6 o'clock start. That one's going to be on CBS Sports Network. An ESPN Plus tip on next Tuesday. They're going to be hosting Toledo. That's a 7 o'clock. And then the one you mentioned down in Athens. I still think we should go, Reese. I know it's a late night, but come on. You only live once. I think we should do it.
That's true, but also a man's got to know his limitations. And I feel at 35, I know mine. And
I think you can take a nap that day.
9 o'clock tips just aren't it, brother.
Visit your old stomping grounds. I think it'd be good.
There'd be a lot of stomping. I just have to force myself to maybe take a break at 5 or 6 and then take a nap. But then if you got to get up the next day, because I got to wrangle Tito on the Saturday Spectacular, and that in and of itself
that's
requires
full,
complete sobriety. You had also a couple of Ohio teams that have made some news recently. So Cincinnati was one of the hottest teams in college hoops. I think they'd ripped off 4 in a row. But the Bearcats go down to Lubbock and fall at Texas Tech 80-68. This comes off of a 16-point win at Fog Allen Fieldhouse over the weekend against Kansas. But yeah, the Bearcats had beaten UCF, Kansas State, Utah, and then the aforementioned Jayhawks. But then lose to Texas Tech. And then two teams were kind of keeping an eye on. Of course, the Dayton Flyers, always one of those teams that you want to root for because just having more Ohio teams is great for everybody. And the Dayton alumni base is pretty strong here in Central Ohio. But they take down St. Louis last night, the 23rd ranked Billikens, 77-62. And St. Louis, one of the teams that where you see Ohio State, in their bracketology, one of those teams that the Buckeyes could be facing in the first round. If right now things stand with Joe Lunardi, they're one of the the first 4 buys. I want to say it is. They avoid having to play that first 4 game in Dayton. But for Ohio State, you've got that quad one opportunity tonight against Iowa. 9 o'clock's the tip-off there. We've got fan pregame coverage at 8 o'clock. Jake Diebler talking yesterday saying they're getting healthier, and that's been the biggest thing. Right, with Junie Mobley, interestingly enough, it was Ted Carter, I think, that broke the exact specifics on that broken pinky finger. And it, according to Coach Diebler. Junie Mobley may be back in Iowa City.
Getting better and better each day. I think that's the encouraging thing. With this injury, there was never like this specific date. There's just kind of, I guess, a threshold that has to be met, and so it's a day-to-day thing for him. But there's been progress, and he is working so hard to get back, as quickly as he can.
You also had Devin Royal miss Sunday's game at Michigan State with an illness. Feels like he's turning a corner on that. And so if you're able to get even 75% Devin Royal, and maybe just having Junie out there for shoot around and getting closer to a return to action. Brandon Knowles probably a week or so away, but only 4 opportunities remain for Ohio State tonight, and Iowa is a must win.
It's where Ohio State has put themselves.
Yeah.
With this, I feel like we've been saying must win for a month.
Feels like all of them have been.
I don't think any of them are must wins yet. It's not a must win until you're dead, right? And even if they don't win tonight, they're not dead. But gosh, a win tonight would certainly help them, because you have Purdue coming up next, and Purdue is a very good team. They're ranked in the top 15 for a reason. And then you've got Indiana and Penn State, right? I think Penn State, then Indiana. And I think a lot of Buckeye fans have just kind of chalked those up as wins. And Penn State's really bad. Penn State's down at the bottom of the Big Ten. But Indiana's a team that's kind of in your boat. They're right there with you in the Big Ten, basically the same record on the season. I don't think chalking up a game against Indiana is... I don't think it's a guarantee, right? Especially with this team. And then you've got the Big Ten tournament, and could they make a run in the Big Ten tournament? Yeah, I guess so. I don't see it happening. So, yeah, again, is tonight a must-win? No, it's not technically, but gosh, you really need it.
Dan, it'd be nice, right? If they could just get the win tonight, we all could rest so easy. Knowing going into the Purdue game, there's not as much pressure for us to take down an even tougher opponent. Like, tonight would make it so much easier to watch the rest of the season and know now there's maybe a little bit of wiggle room, because right now there's no wiggle room. You have to win one of these next two, preferably, or make a deep run in the Big Ten tournament, which is difficult. But if you get a win tonight, then we can finally have a little bit of ease.
Right, to your point about where Ohio State is in Big Ten, in the Big Ten, they're 9-7 in league play. Iowa at 9-7 as well. Both teams very bubblicious. Same thing with Indiana, who sits at 8-9 in the conference. Buckeyes 17-10 overall. Hoosiers 17-11. This from Adam Jardy, where Mobley was almost clear to play against Michigan State, where he had his shooting hand, able to palm the ball, able to dribble, but things just weren't there enough to where they felt comfortable putting him out there against the Spartans, and that's totally fine. If he was so close for the Michigan State game, that's really good news for tonight, because 15 points a game Bruce could have used on Saturday. You lost by 6 to a really good Michigan State team. Iowa's going to be in a similar situation, playing pretty desperate.
Adam Jardy's one of the best.
Yep.
Covering this Ohio State basketball team. We obviously have him on our show. If Jardy says that, then I believe that to be true. And if that is true, then John Mobley Jr. should be suiting up tonight. Like, if he was that close, he was almost cleared on Sunday. A couple more days for him of rest and getting that hand. And Jake Diebler did say it's a finger. We did get that for sure. He didn't say it was a broken pinky. He didn't say anything about surgery. But he did say it was a finger. If he was that close to playing against Michigan State on Sunday, to me, he needs to be in the lineup tonight, giving you everything he's got. Even if it's only 80% of John Mobley Jr., he needs to be in that lineup tonight playing.
And the elusive quad one victory is still out there for Ohio State. That game, the win against Wisconsin and then the win against Northwestern, both have been quad one victories at points in the season. Now they're not the case, but Carver Hawkeye Arena does provide you tonight at 9 o'clock, I should say, with a quad one opportunity. We'll have, again, fan pregame coverage starting at 8, and just throughout the morning, throughout the day, we'll have injury updates if and when they come in. We will do a little higher or lower coming up next. Joel Klatt has his college football coach rankings. We'll see and tell you how we think he did. It's Bishop and Friends on The Fan.
1, 2, 3. Here at The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan.
Welcome back to That Lux Life. It's your boy, Will Winmore. Today's guest, the Millionaire Ball from the new Ohio Lottery Daily Draw game, Millionaire for Life. Hey-o! So if a player matches 5 numbers and the Millionaire Ball number, they win $1 million a year for life. Hey-o! Or $100,000 a year for life if they match just 5. Hey-o! Millionaire for Life is the game. Millionaire Ball is his name. Play Ohio's newest daily draw game for your chance to win for life. Players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
You got this. Breathe. You got this. You got this.
In the moments that truly matter, what do? Rise to the occasion. Ohio Health. It's time.
Germain Honda of Dublin cares about your vehicle and your time, and they do that with same-day service with no appointment necessary. Sell them your vehicle at their buying center and get paid as soon as the same day. Shop great lease and finance offers on all the Honda favorites, like the Passport, the Odyssey, and the redesigned Pilot. Service it, sell it, or drive something new. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, or online at germainhondaofdublin.com.
Do you want free internet forever? Yeah, we thought so. That's why Spectrum is giving you just that. Free fiber-powered internet forever when you switch and get 4 mobile lines from Spectrum. No internet bills, no taxes, no late fees. Just fast fiber-powered internet. Call 833-901-0178 to find out how. But hurry, this deal won't last forever. Once more, 833-901-0178. Or visit spectrum.com/freeforever to learn more.
Your mornings are jam-packed. So if you're going to add anything, make it your favorite bite from Tim Hortons. Buy any size beverage and add a daily baked donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. It's the best way to add more to your morning. The 1-2-3 menu, only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra. Exclusions and terms apply at timhortons.com/offer-terms.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from That Other Window Place. And today, we're in my showroom to demonstrate how efficient our windows are.
Whew, it's really cold in here, Wilson.
We call that eco-friendly organic air conditioning.
Drafty windows are a major problem for energy bills and comfort. It's one of the biggest reasons why people get Pella windows.
It really is a problem, Leslie. I'm wearing 3 coats right now, looking like a beanbag with legs.
Get the windows that can completely change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
Hey everybody, it's Jeremy Birmingham Berm from the Austin and Berm Show on 97.1 The Fan. I hit maintenance mode after dropping 35 pounds with Awaken 180. The Awaken 180 coaches made it simple. Now pizza and ice cream are back, but the cravings aren't. That's a complete mindset shift. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Get your day started with T-Bone and Tybus weekday mornings from 6 to 9 here on The Fan. You think that a radio lifer and a national title winner wouldn't have much in common, but you'd be wrong. They're both girthy, they both love football, and they both get racially profiled for completely different reasons. It's like driving to work with your friends, except these friends give away tickets to things and talk to all the important people in town. Your actual friends are probably a bunch of losers. Well, anyway, listen to T-Bone and Tybus live on The Fan app, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Wounded Warrior Project helps post-9/11 veterans and their families realize what's possible. With support and resources that bring warriors together and empower them to become stronger, both inside and out.
It's possible to begin healing.
To get the help you need.
To find peace. And as each warrior's needs evolve, so do we. Because these last 20 years are just the beginning. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reese. Sir, a quad one opportunity awaits the basketball Buckeyes, who are on the road tonight at Iowa at 9 p.m. You can hear it on the Fan with coverage at 8. Buckeyes are getting healthier as Devin Royal and Junie Mobley are expected to be back in the lineup Wednesday. Royal missed Sunday at Michigan State with an illness, while Mobley's been out with a broken finger. Ohio State's going to host number 8 Purdue Sunday at 1:30. The 13th-ranked Ohio State women's squad hosts number 8 Michigan tonight at 8. Tyler Danberg's going to have pregame coverage at 7:45 over on the Fan 2. That's 1460 on the AM dial. In the NBA last night, the Cavs beat the Knicks 109-94 in Cleveland, and the NFL Combine continues today in Indy. On-field work begins Thursday for linebackers Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles, who will participate and run the 40-yard dash. This update is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union, voted best local credit union for the last 8 years by CBUS Top Picks. Visit BMIFCU.org to learn more.
Keep your friends close and your producers closer. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Oh, you sure are. The first Friday edition of the program means Hey Guys at 11. Get your Hey Guys questions in at 971BFS or in the YouTube chat. Reese or Baker, Isaiah Jacob rolling with you. We'll have Jake Trotter on at 10:30. Talk some college football. Get his thoughts on guys at the NFL Scouting Combine this week. As you heard in the update, you'll have Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles participating in drills tomorrow. Reese told reporters this morning he's going to be doing edge rusher drills as well as linebacker drills. As you saw from number 8 this season, his versatility is off the charts. For Sonny Styles, it's going to be a lot of on-field work, but boy, his leadership's going to be something that NFL teams are really going to love. I saw a mock draft this morning that's got Styles to the Cincinnati Bengals with the 10th overall pick. So I think it would be good for both sides. Finally, Cincinnati maybe gets a defensive player to end a long streak of picking guys in the first round that just don't quite pan out. I have one thing real quick from the corrections department. Tonight's Ohio State game against Iowa, again, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock for fan pregame coverage. You can watch on the Big Ten Network. Over on Peacock, the Ohio State women's squad are taking on number 8 Michigan at 8.
And we've talked a lot about the Buckeye basketball game with Iowa tonight, but this women's game tonight at the Shot, number 13 Ohio State hosting number 8 Michigan. This is a big one for the Lady Bucks because if they can get a win tonight, that will just about wrap up a double bye for them in the Big Ten tournament, which would be huge.
And that'll be over on the Fan 2, 1460 on the AM dial. Tyler Danberg will have the pregame coverage starting at 7:45.
Bishop and Friends present Higher or Lower.
Today's edition of Higher or Lower comes to us from Joel Klatt. Big Noon sidekick to Gus Johnson ranked the top 10 college football coaches heading into the 2026 season. Do we want to start at number 10 or we want to start at the top?
Let's start at number 10 because I have more problems with the bottom half of this list than the top half. So,
all right, at 10, and again, this is via the Joel Klatt Show. Lane Kiffin from LSU. At 9, Mario Cristobal, Miami. At 8, Kalani Sitake of BYU. Higher or lower for Sitake at 8?
Sitake is an interesting case here because he has done very well at BYU, and he's chosen to stay at BYU when maybe he could have went to bigger places. I think Sitake and another coach we're going to get to on this list, and Kyle Whittingham, who is now at the University of Michigan but had been at Utah for so long, are very similar here. I do not have Sitake in my top 10, so I think he should be a little lower than this, but not too much. I don't have a huge argument with him at 8.
I also probably would drop him closer to 10, 11. Like, it feels like he's just on the outside. He's had a couple good seasons. The last two, he's won 23-4 at BYU, which is obviously fantastic. This year was great. And then at the end of the season, if he could have just gotten over Texas Tech. If you get over Texas Tech there, put yourself in the college football playoff, then you're really putting yourself in the top 10. Right now, he's still sitting on the edge.
The thing with Sataki and the Cougs is they had two chances to get one over on Texas Tech, and they couldn't. And so I would have, obviously, he's good at 8 for me. Mario Cristobal at 9 feels too low. And I understand over the last couple of regular seasons, he's had losses that they're just inexplicable in terms of losing games. And then ways they've lost those games have also been pretty comical. But what he's done from an overall standpoint is take his team to a national championship game. So I'd have him moved up a little bit further, a little bit higher on this list to stick with the gimmick.
So that's interesting with me with Cristobal because I understand Miami had a run this year.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get over the losses and the stupid way they've lost games and the terrible clock management.
It's been bad
at the end of games. And I understand there's more to being a great college football coach than just the in-game management of things. And this was a great season for Miami. For me, for Mario Cristobal, I need to see more because I cannot get the just ridiculously dumb decisions at the end of games that have cost them games out of my head.
He has done something, though, that hasn't been done in 25 years and has brought the U back. And it's not necessarily that Cristobal should be higher in the top 10, but who's in front of Cristobal that has my consternation. At 7 on this list, so we had Kalani Sitake at 8. At 7, again, this is Joel Klatt with his top 10 head coaches in college football. At 7, Kyle Whittingham at Michigan. At 6, Steve Sarkisian from Texas. At 5, Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame. Higher or lower for Marcus at 5?
I think Marcus is perfect at number 5. And like I said, I don't have a lot of consternation with his top 5. But his bottom 5 in this top 10, and I can understand the argument for all of them. I don't get Sark. I don't get that Texas team this year. I feel like that Texas team should have been better than they were. I can't get out of the, and I know there were demons in the past with Sark, but USC still happened, and it wasn't great with him there. I am just not a big believer in Steve Sarkisian. If I put Steve Sarkisian in a game up against some of these other coaches, I'm going to bet these other coaches all the time. So Sark at 6 is way too high for me.
See, I like Sark at 6, but I also like Freeman at 5. I think this might be the best part of the list because there's no way I'm moving Freeman above anyone that's in the top 4.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no way that I can move him below anyone that's at 6, 7, or 8. So he's in the perfect spot. I think his team has an identity. I think he's a good recruiter. I think that the program is trending in a great direction. And as long as he's there, they're going to be in the playoff every single year, especially because if they're ranked top 12, they get it anyway somehow. But besides the point, I like Freeman where he's at. Sark, fine at 6. Everyone below, they can stay where they are.
I think Freeman's perfectly positioned at 5. 6 and 7 with Sarkisian and Whittingham. I would have them below Mario Cristobal, just from results on the field, right? Like Whittingham won all the time at Utah, but right now it's, I think, an unknown because he's got a different challenge to face, and that's bringing Michigan back to national prominence.
What is harder, I guess, would be some of these discussions. What is harder? Sure. Keeping Utah at a consistently high level and winning conference championships and being in the mix for 20 years, or taking a Miami or a Texas to a national championship game? It's an interesting argument. Sure. I don't know if there is I don't know if there's a right side on that argument. I don't know if I can say one is better than the other. But I do have Kyle Whittingham at number 10 on my list.
We'll go into the top 4. You've got Dan Lanning at 4 from Oregon. At 3, Georgia's Kirby Smart. At 2, Ryan Day. At number 1, again, this is from Joel Klatt, Curt Cignetti is his top head coach in college football. Can't go any higher than 1, but higher or lower for Cignetti?
I think Cignetti at 1 is appropriate because what he did at Indiana is unprecedented. And what he did at James Madison was pretty impressive as well. To have James Madison consistently good and also have them as a team that was, I believe, 11-2, maybe 12-1 his final year. I don't remember the exact on that. But a team that was right there fighting for a college football playoff spot, right there in the mix. And a lot of those guys went to Indiana and helped this transformation. I think Cignetti is good at number one. A lot of Buckeye fans probably aren't going to like this. The only change I would make in his top 10 is I would flip Ryan Day and Kirby Smart. I would have Kirby Smart at number 2, and I think Kirby Smart and Ryan Day are very similar. I think they're right there neck and neck. Kirby has the one more championship, though, than Ryan, so that's why I would have Kirby at number 2. That might change moving forward because it seems like Ohio State is going to stay where they are, and maybe possibly Georgia could slide a little bit. So next year, I may flip that, and I may agree with Klatt and have Ryan Day number 2 and Kirby Smart number 3. But right now, that extra national championship, I give Kirby Smart a slight edge.
See, for me, I've got Cignetti too high. I probably would drop him to 3. And the reason, and I understand why people have him at 1, and I understand this season was fantastic, but the length of time that Kirby Smart and Ryan Day have built these programs, the dynasties that they are, I think that has to mean something. I think there's been a lot of great coaches that have pushed a team through 16-0, 14-0, 15-0 that have been able to sustain that success, and there's some that haven't. Like we saw Ed Orgeron at LSU, had that fantastic year a couple years later, wasn't the same. Gene Chizik at Auburn with Cam Newton, same deal. Really great season, not the same. So I'm not quite ready to crown him. I think that he's not Ed Orgeron. I don't think he's Gene Chizik, but I also am not ready to put him at 1 for the fact that if he does it for a few more years, he doesn't even have to win another national championship for a few more years. But if he can keep Indiana in the playoff at this level, then we can keep him at 1. But for right now, I probably would still have him below Kirby and Ryan Day, and I would have Ryan Day at 1.
The madness must end. We'll discuss that next. It's Bishop and Friends on the Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. You know, there is no end to the amount of stuff in my garage. I've got bicycles. I've got rollerblades. I've got every basketball, football, baseball, hockey puck, lacrosse, you name it, we've got it in there. If your garage looks like mine, that might be one of the reasons you've put off getting your garage floor fixed. Maybe you've got stains and cracks, bad epoxy job. Whatever the case, if your garage looks bad, that feels bad when you pull in there. But I don't want to have to clean out my garage to get my garage floor fixed, right? Well, good news. Comer & Cross concrete floor coatings, they will come and fix your garage floor in just one day. They will take all the stuff out of your garage so you don't have to. Plus, Comer & Cross, they're all certified, uniformed pros, no subcontractors at Comer & Cross. Get your quick and easy Comer & Cross garage floor estimate now. 1-800-NEW-FLOOR is the number. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com. Get a new garage floor in just one day with Comer & Cross.
It's Skyway time at Skyline Chili. Come get your Skyline 3, 4, or 5-way with 50% extra cheese at no extra charge. Regular and large ways only at participating Skyline restaurants for a limited time.
Common Man here for my friends at Germain. Germain is having a huge President's Day sales event all month long at all of their Columbus locations. This month and this month only, all qualified pre-owned vehicles come with a 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on top of the $1,000 price promise. No one's going to sell you a car for less. With nearly 4,000 vehicles and 30 brands, there's only one website you need when shopping for your next car. It's GoGermain.com. That's GoGermain.com. Tell them Common Man sent you.
At Newman Roofing, we believe every detail matters, which is why we have over 1,000 5-star Google reviews from families all across Central Ohio who have put their trust in Newman Roofing for their roofing, siding, and gutter projects. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com today.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Save big on a delicious roast. Right now, USDA Choice Boneless Chuck Roasts are on sale for only $6.99 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Join Rothman Hoffman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week, but not OJ because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan.
Thanks to your support, the nonprofits VetTix and First Tix have given away tens of millions of tickets and counting to vets currently serving military, the immediate family of troops killed in action, and our brave current and former first responders. These tickets are a meaningful way to say thank you to America's heroes. And now we want you to be part of the mission. Got extra tickets to concerts, games, or special events? Or want to see if you qualify? We want you to go to vettix.org and firsttix.org today. Give something to those who gave.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or give us a call and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Although we started off with some clouds, we will become sunny throughout the day today with highs getting into the upper 40s, but breezy winds will continue. For tonight, partly cloudy overnight with lows down into the 20s. Winds start to taper off, and then as we go into Thursday, starting off mostly cloudy, becoming sunny throughout the day with our highs getting into the low 40s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio State flagship station. The Fan. Sports conversation that's worthy of a toast, or at least a stiff drink. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Yes, you are. Reeser Baker, Isaiah Jacob with you until noon on this first Friday edition of the program. We'll get Jake Trotter on here in 12 minutes, ESPN senior college football reporter, and I'll ask him when the madness is going to end because there is another quarterback that has gone judge shopping to get another year of eligibility. But first, we had talked earlier in the show, Baker, about how the NHL returns tonight from that Olympic break, and Blue Jackets have two great opportunities Thursday and Saturday to move up into playoff spots, continue a playoff push. But you would always had it in the back of your mind throughout the Olympics. You know, what if Zach Werenski were to get injured playing for Team USA? The CBJ need number 8 to make a legitimate playoff push. And probably the worst thing that could have happened to the Pittsburgh Penguins, who were also in a playoff push, would be a devastating injury to Sidney Crosby. He was injured in the quarterfinals. He didn't play in the semis or in that gold medal game. And then there was some news about Crosby's status this morning.
Yeah, so Sidney Crosby, it's coming out. He's been placed on injured reserve. He's expected to miss at least 4 weeks with that injury that he suffered in the Olympics. And you knew if Sidney Crosby wasn't going to play in that gold medal game, that it was something pretty serious. And now you have the confirmation of that he's going to miss at least 4 weeks. And Reese, we talked about this schedule is condensed right now. So this is going to be a lot of games that he's going to miss for a Penguins team who is currently second in the Metro, but with only 70 points.
Right.
They're tied with the Buffalo Sabres in that first wild card spot. And you've got a team like the Blue Jackets who have been hot. If they can continue playing the way they were before the break, coming out of the break, they're just 5 points behind you. So it's a tough blow for Canada at the Olympics.
Sure was.
And it's going to be especially tough for the Pittsburgh Penguins here moving forward, and maybe, hopefully, something the Columbus Blue Jackets could take advantage of.
Yeah, a tremendous opportunity for the CBJ. So you got the Penguins hosting the Devils tomorrow night. New Jersey's got Buffalo tonight. Again, NHL's second half begins on Wednesday. And so the Sabres and also the Penguins and the Islanders, the Blue Jackets will see Saturday night, have points ahead of the Blue Jackets in terms of playoff wild card standings. When we'd done our college football coach rankings, according to Joel Klatt, I thought there were some honorable mentions. Joey McGuire from Texas Tech, the job he's done with the Red Raiders, certainly not top 10 right now, but a name to look out for as that could crack that after the 2026 college football season. And then Tony Elliott from Virginia. I thought what he did with the Cavaliers was as impressive of a job as has been done in the past couple of seasons. Certainly nothing more impressive than what Curt Cignetti's done at Indiana. But after that, I think the job that the Cavaliers, the season the Cavaliers have had was certainly not. They were, in one of those like final playoff spots throughout it. This from yesterday, UVA quarterback Chandler Morris has filed a lawsuit against the NCAA seeking an additional year of eligibility in 2026. So he had a waiver and a subsequent appeal on his behalf denied by the NCAA. Morris has participated in 6 seasons of college football, including the pandemic season of 2020. He's played for 4 different college football programs. He started at Oklahoma. That didn't in 2019 because of the COVID season count against his eligibility. Then he was at TCU. Actually was on that national championship program for the Horned Frogs. Morris has filed the lawsuit in Virginia State Court. In 2024, he was, I guess I should say in 2025, 3,700 yards, 31 touchdowns. He's 25 years old. Virginia also went and got Beau out of the transfer portal from Missouri. This is just another one that, and I think we have to say this understanding that it's not the same thing, but Puff Johnson went judge shopping in Franklin County to find a judge that would give him, eligibility to play for Ohio State. This isn't quite that because it's not on the scale of, college football quarterbacks. And certainly with what you saw with Joey Aguilar, the judge that he went judge shopping for in Tennessee told him, look, if your primary argument is this eligibility is going to cost you $2 to $4 million, you've got to prove that. And it feels like the reporting for Chandler Morris says also a judge will ask him, you've got to prove that losing that eligibility will have you lose out on a gigantic chunk of change. This goes back to the point that we've made, Baker, over the last couple of weeks, is where really the coaches need to be responsible for stopping all of this madness because this cannot continue.
So to me, this isn't losing your eligibility. You've used your eligibility. And it sounds like the basis that Chandler Morris is suing here for eligibility is the 2022 season, where he started that year as the starter, played in 1 game, got hurt, and then came back and played 3 games at the end of the year. It sounds like they're trying to go back and get a medical red shirt for that season. My question to you, Chandler Morris, and to you, TCU, during that time is why didn't you get this taken care of then? Because the one reason Trinidad Chambliss has been granted another year to play for Ole Miss is it sounds like Ferris State literally dropped the ball on filing his medical red shirt. It sounds like they didn't do it right, or they misled him that they were going to do that, and then they didn't do it. Whatever it was, Ferris State messed up, and they did not do things right on their end. So I am okay with Trinidad Chambliss getting an extra year if the university messed up. It doesn't sound like anything was filed by anybody on this. Nobody tried to get a medical red shirt when it happened in the fact. Well, now 3 years later, you're like, I don't know if I'm not good enough to go to the NFL. I'm never going to play football again. Too bad, dude. You should have taken care of this back then. I don't understand it. I don't have any sympathy. All of these kids are getting, all of these people, and he's not even a kid. He's 25 years old. You got an extra year because of COVID. So you're already at year number 5. You had your red shirt, so you're at year number 6. You should have, whatever reason, you didn't apply for the medical red shirt. You should have done it and taken care of it then. You can't go back and do it in hindsight.
And these are all individual cases. So like you mentioned with Chambliss, like you're going to hear from with Chad Morris, Diego Pavia, I think still has his day in court. It needs to go back to these coaches where they say if you're of either a certain age or if you've exhausted your college eligibility, we're not going to get in business with you. You're not a guy we're going to seek out for our program, because the NCAA is not going to come and help. The College Sports Commission hasn't really done anything. I think the only notable thing that you've seen from the CSC was a letter that they sent to LSU, and it wasn't even about college football. Congress isn't going to step in and help any of this. So it goes back to those 10 coaches that we had mentioned back in higher or lower, because those are the coaches with power, with influence, and that people know. And if they get together and say, we are going to set these rules for ourselves, we're going to police ourselves, and then we're going to come up with punishments for not following those rules, because rules without enforcement, rules without punishment are suggestions, then your team will suffer in this fashion. That, for me, has been the only way to really make this the only way for us to get out of all of this.
And to me, that would not be the coaches so much. It's the universities, which are the NCAA, banding together and say, we're not letting this happen. So it would be the universities telling coach, hey, you're not allowed to do this. And then get the government out of it. If somebody tries to sue you because the NCAA has a rule, no, we're good. We don't need this. We've got better things to deal with. Then the courts need to step up and say, no, they have their rules. They're not doing anything that is illegal or hampering your rights. You went in fully aware that this was how many years you got. See you later. Any lawsuit that comes out, just dismiss it.
And that's the thing about college football, too, is when did we get away from it being about development? Like, we gave them the redshirt freshman year so that you have 5 years now to get better, to be a college football player. Ryan Day can do his work on you, make your magic happen. And by your senior year, now you're your full form of college football. Now, at this point, it's just roster loopholes. Like, how can I play as long as possible? And going to the court system and not abiding by the NCAA's rules is just getting so far away from the college football we know, which I know it's changing. But at the same time, who's going to be the one to step in and finally say, no, this is getting crazy. Why are we doing this? Why are we taking opportunities away from freshmen that aren't even going to have an opportunity for that scholarship? With every single player that comes back for another year, for his 25th year, 26th year, it's taking a freshman spot that wanted to go to Ohio State, that wanted to go to Virginia, wherever they wanted to go. Now they have to go somewhere else.
And that's what I hate about all of this, as you have these guys that are trying to play 6, 7, 8, 9 years of eligibility, and we just see it at the highest level. We just look at it through the scarlet-colored glasses, but there's a whole domino effect that happens all the way down into lower schools, FCS, Division II, and there's some kid out there that maybe could have had a chance to get his college education paid for, but somehow through this domino effect, he's going to be left on the outside looking in, and he's going to lose an opportunity that may have changed his life.
We'll get Jake Trotter, senior college football reporter at ESPN. We'll get his thoughts on this insanity and what's going on with the NFL's scouting combine. 11 Buckeyes in Indianapolis. We'll get his thoughts on how they can fare in April's NFL draft. That's in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends on The Fan.
Join us for Diamond Seller's Wedding Weekend, February 27th and 28th. We guarantee the best price year-round, and Wedding Weekend adds an advantage you won't find anywhere else. Enjoy preferred bridal pricing up to 30% off for 1 weekend only. Visit Diamond Seller February 27th and 28th.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. A question I get all the time is, how did we become the largest injury firm in the world? We have over 1,000 lawyers in all 50 states and close to 6,000 coworkers. Our call center is on duty 24/7. You can reach us at any time at forthepeople.com. But the real reason is we won a lot. When you visit our website, go to our verdicts and settlements. There you will see what our clients were offered and what they were awarded at trial. All those verdicts help us resolve many cases fairly and early. You see, nothing beats reputation. The insurance industry knows who we are. We even have insurance adjusters call us for representation because they know too. We've made it easy. On your mobile device or computer, go to forthepeople.com and we will get busy. It's that easy. Call today. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, one thing our Pella Columbus team is really serious about is to not be salesy or pushy. We're just here to listen and hopefully make your dream a reality.
Oh, I had a dream last night where I went back in time to a dinosaur's birthday party and had to fight a triceratops for the last cupcake.
I meant more like home makeover type of dreams.
Oh, okay. I just got the dinosaur thing.
Get the windows that can completely change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Let me introduce you to a man with a magnificent salt and pepper beard. A man who's currently roasting lamb on a spit. A man who runs the Rocky River Greek Festival. That man is Jake Trotter.
And he joins us courtesy of the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, ESPN senior college football reporter. Jake, I speak for a lot of us in the listening audience. We had just talked about Chandler Morris, Virginia's quarterback, filing a lawsuit against the NCAA, seeking another year of eligibility. And my question to you is, when will it end?
Not anytime soon.
With judge shopping and everything that these guys are trying to do, I keep trying to make the point that the coaches, I think, really need to be the catalyst for all of this change. Less the NCAA, less the CSC, and even more or less the government, because the coaches, and you've seen so many different ways in building a roster and fielding a football team to compete in the college football playoff, that if any of this is to actually change in ways that I think fans want to see it change, the coaches are going to have to do it themselves.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. You could throw in university presidents too. You know, they've been part of a system that has led us to all the issues we have now. I mean, essentially, everybody's has got to come together. Commissioners of conferences, coaches, like you said, university presidents, and somebody's got to be put in charge. And then everybody's got to respect the rules. Right now, we have rules that, you know, are not respected. We don't have anybody who is actually in charge. You just mentioned the judge shopping. I mean, now we have state courts deciding eligibility from, including in Mississippi. So it's just a total mess right now. There's no collective bargaining. Until we get that, it's really almost impossible to negotiate anything in terms of contracts with players. So, I mean, we're just so far away from a coherent system that makes sense. I mean, the game is still fun. The games are awesome. We've had some great playoffs the last couple of years, but yeah, at the end of the day, this is not going to get solved anytime soon, and it's certainly not going to get solved until some people who have power in the sport start forcing the issue and getting us taking steps to a point where, you know, we can have a system that's not changing. It seems like every year, every few weeks.
Jake, you just talked about a lot of the problems that are facing the sport of college football, yet it seems like the thing that those conference commissioners are most interested in is expanding the college football playoff, because that's a way for them to make more money. And we know that the game is as popular as it's ever been. Is there something out there in all of these issues that we've talked about that would derail the sport?
I don't know about derail, but I could see us, plowing ahead with, all the issues that we currently have. They'll probably only get exasperated the further we go without a remedy. You talk about the expansion of the college football playoff. The SEC and the Big Ten commissioners can't agree on that, which is why we're not getting an expanded playoff. That's why we're staying at 12, because one conference wants 24, the other wants 16, and that's a pretty big gap in between. So yeah, I don't. Again, like I think the 12-team playoff is fine, and I think it's actually been a pretty big success despite all the issues that we have seen. But yeah, at the same time, if the people that do have power can't agree on anything, then nothing is going to change, which with regard to the playoff, why it's just status quo right now.
Yeah, Jake, I'm with you. Just keep it at 12. And I think like you said, the ratings are up for some of these games. The games are exciting. Having them on college campuses makes for a great product. But with the college football calendar just being as insane as it's been, and as I don't know, January 25th, I should say, when you're going to get the national championship in 2027, there was talk this week from Army's Jeff Monken and then Navy's athletic director of when they're going to have to move that Army-Navy game. Are you in favor of keeping it on its own weekend or moving it to, I guess, as Monken suggested, maybe that Thanksgiving weekend with Ohio State and Michigan?
Yeah, you could do that. That's a big rivalry weekend. It almost became an issue this year when it looked like Navy had a chance to win the American Conference. So, Navy wins its conference, and then all of a sudden they're in the playoff potentially. And then you have this random Army game at the end of the year, which again is a great game, one of the great games in college football, but the calendar is sort of weird. I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion about it either way. I mean, I kind of like having that game when we do. But if you're going to try to move everything up, like something is going to have to give, including, the conference championship games. So, yeah, I mean, right now there are too many balls in the air to, have a all-encompassing, panacea for these issues. And the Army-Navy game is just one factor out there that we got to sift through, with regard to making it fair for them in the context of the playoff.
Jake, the NFL scouting combine going on over in Indianapolis this week, 11 Buckeyes over there right now. Got the surprising news that Arvell Reese is actually going to do all of the drills, the edge rusher drills and the linebacker drills this weekend. If there's one player, one Buckeye, and then somebody else out there in college football that you think really has a chance to improve their draft status this weekend, who would those be?
That's an interesting question. There's so many Buckeyes in the mix. I was looking at, some of the mock drafts. I mean, we're going to have a lot of Ohio State players go, not just in the first round, but maybe, even in the top 20, depending on, where McDonald goes. I think Arvell, I can't see him falling past 4 to Tennessee. Caleb, I can't see falling past 10 to Cincinnati. That would be a great fit for the Bengals and give them some defensive identity and leadership, which they obviously desperately need. Carnell, I think, is kind of interesting. He had such an amazing season. I think as an X receiver that can, basically make plays at every level. He's really intriguing. But, late in the year after that injury, he definitely wasn't the same player. So, does he have an opportunity to kind of solidify his standing as a top 5 or 6, player in this draft? I haven't. Do we know what he's doing? Is he going to do stuff at Pro Day? I haven't even actually read what his plan is this week.
I have not heard on Carnell. I saw Caden McDonald. He was just speaking there. He said he's not going to work out this weekend, that he is just going to do Pro Day. Sonny Styles is going to work out, but I haven't seen anything on Carnell and Caleb yet.
But, you could see Carnell, Arvell, Caleb, and Sonny all going in the top 10. And then you've got McDonald. Am I forgetting anybody? I'm trying to
I think that's the 5 that are potentially first rounders.
You could have 4 top 10 Ohio State players. I don't even think that's a hot take. I think that's actually probably more likely than not to happen. Caleb is interesting because, obviously he's a tremendous prospect. What he did in college was exceptional. We all know what he can do, but we haven't had a safety go in the top 10 of the draft since 2017, I believe, when Jamal Adams went to the Jets at 6th overall. Caleb has a chance to, I think, usurp that and go a little bit higher. But if he went 2 to the Jets, would that stun anybody? I don't think so. And I think if you're the Jets, it might come down to a Arvell versus Caleb Downs discussion in that war room. And I think that's a good problem to have, because I think both of those guys are going to be superstars in the NFL.
Jake, I'm a Browns fan. I know you hear from Browns fans often, sometimes unsolicited, but there was talk, and there will continue to be talk of them trading out of that 6th spot. But I keep saying, if Carnell Tate's there, just take him at 6. Like, when can we just, as a Browns, we as a Browns fan base, just take a pick in the first round in the top 10 when they have it and not worry about draft capital for 2027?
Yeah, I mean, the team has so many holes offensively that I understand why you might want to trade down. And I think the strength of this draft, at least on paper, is kind of in that early teens. Because you're looking at, guys like, when is Spencer Fano going to go? Browns need an offensive tackle. I think Mekhi Lemon, really reminds me of JSN as kind of a super slot, can be a number 1, but out of the slot, type of guy. He's a terrific player. And so, like, I think but let's assume that they don't trade down. They sit at 6. That's going to be tough, because I think if a tackle is there, that's probably the direction you have to go, because if you can't protect, it doesn't matter what you have at receiver. So I think Carnell would be a great pick. But I think that if you're going to prioritize needs and just kind of what you need to do to have any kind of coherent, successful, credible offense, which they just haven't had the last couple of years, I think you got to take a hard look at a tackle, even if it's a right tackle. And it's going to be an interesting decision to see what they do. I think, at 6 and 24, you're probably looking at a tackle and a receiver in some combination. Yeah. So if you don't go receiver high, you go tackle, maybe you come back and get somebody like Denzel Boston from Washington, get an X receiver who can go up and make plays downfield. But if you take Carnell, somebody like Monroe Feeling there, the potential left tackle from Georgia, I think the Browns would be good with either combination. But I do think that they've got to come out of this first round with a potential number 1 receiver and just an absolute plug and play offensive tackle on either side, because we saw last season you can't do what you did last year at those positions.
Yeah, coherent and the Browns don't often walk hand in hand. But, Jake, we are thrilled you'd give us some of your time this morning. We look forward to talking with you next week. Enjoy the weekend, bud.
Okay, guys. See ya.
And it comes to us courtesy of the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Yeah, we'll have an update on Carnell Tate's schedule for this week, and we'll do Thing or Not a Thing coming up next. Bishop and Friends on the Fan.
Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at AmazonBusiness.com.
This is the Daily Show with Coach Jake Diebler, brought to you by Encova Insurance. We've talked about it for a few weeks now, but when you look at how your teams play defensively, Jake, are there some common keys?
Communication's been much improved. Our connection, defensively, because of that, communication's been good. We've had some good rebounding stretches. We've got to continue to do that at a higher level. But, I like the execution we're doing on that side of the ball, and it's going to be important down the stretch.
More in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer both on and off the court. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. Basketball is full of challenging shots, and life can be too. With Encova, you don't have to do it alone. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Well, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
At Ohio State, we are the never afraid to innovate teams and the improve people's lives teams. Together, we are the Ohio State University. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Jake, can I ask you about how your team has played defensively as of late? What's the benefit to having an assistant coach that is specifically designed to coach defense?
Well, we use a similar system that football does with coordinators, and you're seeing that across the country in basketball. It's, I did that when I was with Thad Matta and Bryce Drew, and I think it's great for us because it has every coach involved in game day prep, and the alternative is one individual coach doing the scout and you rotate the scout. But I like the coordinator system. Allows us to be really focused on the details and have everybody all hands on deck for game day.
Okay, this is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Around here, it's all-wheel drive all year round. And Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone, like the family-size Highlander and the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Now through March 2nd, get 4.99 APR financing on any new 26 Highlander or Grand Highlander, including hybrid models, with approved credit through TFS. Plus, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, 2 years no-cost maintenance. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Common Man here for my friends at Germain. Germain is having a huge President's Day sales event all month long at all of their Columbus locations. This month and this month only, all qualified pre-owned vehicles come with a 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on top of the $1,000 price promise. No one's going to sell you a car for less. With nearly 4,000 vehicles and 30 brands, there's only one website you need when shopping for your next car. It's GoGermain.com. That's GoGermain.com. Tell them Common Man sent you. Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton. I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America. 200 food banks strong.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
First Friday miracles are always better with Uncle Beau. This is Bishop and Friends.
We had Beau live from Indianapolis in the first hour of the program. Anything you've missed from this show or previous editions of Bishop and Friends, you can find wherever it is you do your podcasting. And on YouTube, at WBNS Radio is the handle, but just search The Fan, and all of our things come directly to you. There's also time before 11 o'clock to get your Hey Guys in. The fun thing about the YouTube chat, and thanks to everybody for jumping in, it's a pretty lively chat room on a daily basis, but we can do your Hey Guys live. Also at 971 BFS, we can read them. If they're readable for the air, we'll get them to you. Coming up at 11, we had Jake Trotter from ESPN on in the last segment. He was asking about Carnell Tate, and he's going to be speaking, or at least is scheduled to speak Friday at 8 a.m., and then receiver workouts are Saturday. So if he indeed does do on-field workouts, that'll be Saturday. It looks like at 5:30 is when Tate's scheduled. But as Baker had said, and as Caden McDonald, when he was speaking earlier this morning, told reporters he's not going to be doing on-field workouts for the defensive linemen. That would have been tomorrow. He'll instead wait for Ohio State's Pro Day, which will be on March 25th at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center.
Thing or not a thing?
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
On Tuesday, the National Football League announced that the Detroit Lions will be one of the participating teams for the upcoming 2026 NFL game in Munich. It's likely going to be a home game for Detroit, with the Lions' likely opponents for that contest being Tampa Bay, New England, or the New York Giants. The game in Munich's going to be of a record 9 international games in 2026 across 4 continents, 7 countries, and 8 stadiums, where Bayern Munich, that stadium that they play at, it's a multi-year commitment to playing games in that city 2026 and then in 2028. Thing or not a thing?
Well, I think this is a thing because all of the NFL teams are going to be doing this more and more. It's also a thing because there's only 5 teams as of right now that have not played a game overseas. 2 of those, the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys, are scheduled to do so this year. Obviously, you just mentioned Detroit and Munich, and Dallas will be in Rio. So the only teams that will be left after this year that have not played a team in an played in an international game, the Bengals, the Raiders, and the Texans. And as you said, maybe one of those will be scheduled for one of these games this year. So it's a thing where all of these the NFL is going to continue to play games abroad. All of these teams are going to do it, and they're cycling through now to try to get all of them on the schedule.
Yeah, it feels like they're clearly making it evident that they are trying to expand the league, expand the fans. Obviously, the NFL has made a big point to do this, so it's going to continue to happen, and I am not against it. I was against it last season because I was like, do I really want to wake up early for this Browns versus Vikings game? Like, am I going to like it in the morning? And then I went to a bar to watch the game, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. My fiance liked it way more, too, because she was like, football's done earlier on a Sunday. Now we have the whole day to do whatever we want. The Browns already lost. Now we can have the whole day to go and suffer elsewhere. And so it was nice being able to get to a bar early, have a drink, watch the Browns game, and then enjoy the rest of my Sunday without having to worry about the Browns playing.
It is true that West Coast time, the West Coast kick time for games is undefeated. I also wonder if the NFL, when they saw the gold medal hockey game do the 18.6 million, that was the most watched sporting event with a pre-9 a.m. start in U.S. history. The NFL said, all right, we can beat that. But these international games, I keep going back to, is anybody really asking for this except for the NFL? Front Office Sports says John Rahm's 2027 Ryder Cup eligibility is in jeopardy. The former world number 1 was not included on a list of players granted conditional release by the DP World Tour on Saturday to compete at LIV golf events in 2026. An active membership on the DP World Tour, the European Golf Tour, is a requirement for players in the European Ryder Cup team. Rahm joined Live Golf in 2023, refused to pay a $3 million fine because of his participation in Live tournaments without DP Tour clearance. He participated in last year's Ryder Cup while the sanctions were under appeal. This is a side note. Rory McIlroy encouraged John Rahm to pay the fines so that there can be no question about his status for this upcoming Ryder Cup. Thing or not a thing?
This is not a thing, and even if it was a thing, this is a stupid thing. Is John Rahm one of the best golfers in the world? Yes. Is he one of the top 12 golfers that could play for the Europeans in the Ryder Cup? Yes. Do you want the best in this event or not? Yes. He's going to be playing in this event. This is all just a cash grab with all of these tours, and it's all so stupid and dumb. We just want to see the best players competing against the best, so let them do that. I will never understand. I mean, I do understand, but I don't get all the consternation with the Live Tour and the PGA and the DP World Tour, and just all of you live harmoniously together. There's enough golf to go around. John Rahm will be playing in the Ryder Cup, and everything will be fine.
It feels like you're sharing so many of the same golfers. There's so much crossover. Why is there constantly a debate between which one gets who? And I hate it. And I hate that if John Rahm doesn't play in this, it significantly hurts the Ryder Cup because he's one of the best European players. And it's also any time that you have a competition between Europe and the U.S. or any 2 different countries, if all of their players aren't playing, then what's that mean? there's going to be an asterisk next to it. If Ohio or the USA wins, I want there to be no asterisk, right? And so that's the part that hurts me.
Isaiah, you have that Al Michaels audio?
Oh, yeah.
So he was on the Jim Rome show. You can hear that daily on The Fan, too. He was asked who his favorite athlete to cover all time was.
My favorite athlete to cover is Pete Rose. And that goes over. And why is that? Because Pete Rose was balls out in a spring training game and the 7th game of a World Series. And I covered him under both circumstances. I never saw anybody as invested in the game as him.
Phrasing. Thing or not a thing?
I think this is a thing because of all the players that Al Michaels has covered over his years of time. And, I mean, Pete Rose plowed his best friend in an all-star game to get the win. So I don't think any of that is surprising at all. And I would have to think Al Michaels talking about Pete Rose in that vein where he played the 7th game of the World Series or a spring training game just as hard. I would have to think how difficult it is for Al Michaels in today's age of load management. And as we've talked about a lot on this show recently, Darren Peterson, how difficult that is for him to see after calling guys like that and then having so many guys, and not all of them. There's a lot of athletes out there nowadays that are really tough and they want to play all the time. Look at Jack Hughes getting his teeth knocked out and then scoring the gold medal game. I do think it's a select few, but I think that's got to be very hard for Al Michaels to see just the difference in his career.
It's definitely a thing because if Pete Rose ever wants to make his way to Cooperstown, which I know there's an argument for both sides, then people like Al Michaels have to continue to tell his story and to tell, the greatness that he was. And if people stop talking about it, he will get lost to the abyss and he will never make his way there.
All right, there's still time to get your Hey Guys questions in at 971-BFS and the YouTube chat. We will do our best to get them all out. Coming up next, it's Bishop and Friends on The Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Dr. Mark Levy can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring. Sleep better. Live better.
Things people don't believe in. Little green aliens. Bigfoot. And that Spectrum TV combines all your favorite streaming apps with live TV at no extra cost. But that one is actually true. You get over $100 worth of streaming apps like HBO Max, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Peacock, AMC Plus, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free? Really?
Really? Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah. How much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free? Really?
Really. Free. It's part of A to Z Savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9th. Restrictions apply.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
To...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom.
Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
When you've thrown over 4,000 innings like I have, you know joint pain isn't a maybe, it's a guarantee. For you, was it climbing ladders or too much heavy lifting? Hey, we're all in the same boat. But surgery, that was never my answer.
Baseball legend Roger Clemens knows there's a better way. That's QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself. No scalpels, no fake fixes, just real relief.
What I love about QC Kinetics, these are the most respected medical pros in the country that specialize in non-surgical therapies to get you moving again.
Don't mask the pain, fix it. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
I trusted QC Kinetics. You should too.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Listen up. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Dr. Mark Levy's been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results. And now he has an office in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. The NFL Scouting Combine rolls along in Indianapolis. On-field work begins Thursday. Earlier this morning, Buckeye linebacker Arvell Reese told reporters he's already spoken with several teams, including the New York Jets, who own the second pick in April's draft. Reese also says he plans to participate in on-field work for edge rushers and linebackers, as well as run the 40-yard dash. Defensive tackle Caden McDonald will not participate in on-field workouts this week. He'll wait for Ohio State's Pro Day on March 25th. McDonald told reporters this morning he's also accepted an invite to the NFL Draft April 23rd in Pittsburgh. College hoops tonight, Ohio State plays at Iowa. You can hear it on the Fan with coverage at 8. Devin Royal and Junie Mobley are expected in the lineup Wednesday. Royal missed Sunday at Michigan State with an illness, while Mobley's been out with a broken finger. Ohio State's got Purdue Sunday at 1:30. This update is sponsored by Germain Toyota. For unbeatable service and sales, visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net.
Say something with enough confidence, it must be true. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Reeser, Baker, Isaiah with you on this first Friday edition of the program, which means time for Hey Guys. That's not Hey Guys.
Nothing is off limits. Your participation is required. Just use the hashtag #HeyGuys and ask anything you want. Do it now.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co. Great food, award-winning drinks, and something for everyone in the family. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
The wonderful thing about live radio is while we're reading your YouTube comments in real time, we can get them on the air if they're clean. Because I don't know if I trust myself to clean them up in real time. At 971BFS on Twitter, if you want to send them via that social media apparatus. We'll start with Joe, who asks, "Hey guys, what is the best Wi-Fi name you've seen in your entire life?" He says his is Bushwood Country Club.
Go
ahead.
Oh, sorry. There's a lot of good ones out there I've seen, but there's one that always sticks in my head. And I saw it way back when Wi-Fi kind of first started. I've seen other people do it since. But I always loved this one. It was Get Yo Own Wi-Fi. Because I think a lot of people were trying to hack into other people's and steal theirs. I don't know why. I just always saw that, and that one is always stuck in my head.
It feels like there's more and more when you go to a hotel and you just pull down the Wi-Fi menu and just kind of see around the hotel what else is out there. There's some form or fashion of FBI surveillance van. I know I guess it could be the FBI, but for the most part I think it's a joke. That's probably the more creative ones I've seen.
The one for me is always It Hurts When I Pee. That's my favorite one. I always see that one make the rounds online constantly, and I love that one.
Mills asks on the YouTube chat, "Hey guys, would you rather have to go to a long dinner with Jim Harbaugh or James Franklin?"
Oh, this is easy for me. It's James Franklin. I don't want to be stuck with Jim Harbaugh eating a dinner for a few hours. It's going to be awkward. We may dislike James Franklin and think he has issues as a head coach, but I think James Franklin is a pretty personable person, and you'd be able to talk with him about a lot of different things. So I'm taking James Franklin.
Doesn't it feel like Jim Harbaugh would just chew with his mouth open? Like, that's the only way that I could describe, like, sitting across from him at dinner. It's probably him chewing with his mouth open. There's going to be a lot of talk of himself, his shoes, his shirts, whatever he's wearing that night. I do think for James Franklin, I've never hated James Franklin, obviously, because he's never done much bad to us as Buckeye fans. But I think he's been a personable guy when he was on College Game Day. I think he would be an okay talker, but Jim Harbaugh, not for me.
Yeah, Jim Harbaugh, a steak and milk guy. I don't want to have dinner and watch you eat a steak and chug a glass of milk. But yeah, I think James Franklin, you could just get him talking about anything, and you just sit there and listen for the dinner. Like, you wouldn't have to do any work with Franklin. Feels like with Harbaugh, you'd be pulling teeth. Phil Martin asks, hey guys, so every year I pick one golfer to throw some cash on to win every major. Not an odds-on favorite, but a ridiculous long shot. He said last year was DeChambeau. He asks, who would you recommend this year?
So there's one guy that I've kind of been watching the past couple of years. He's been progressively getting better and better. He's number 11 in the world golf rankings right now, and that's Ben Griffin. I think Ben Griffin's time to win a major is coming sooner rather than later. So I think Ben Griffin's a guy that probably wouldn't be a super, super long shot, but he's not going to be probably one of the top 5s, maybe even top 10 in your odds for every major this year. So I like Ben Griffin.
One of the ones for me, and I know this isn't as much of a long shot, but just returning from injury, Brooks Koepka. He's always one I like to throw money on, and the other one is Max Homa, who feel like at some point they'll probably get one.
I'm just looking at DraftKings odds. It's plus 5,000 for Ben Griffin to win the U.S. Open.
Okay.
Some fun odds there.
What about do they have the Masters up there yet?
Let me check. They do. A favorite, obviously, Scotty Scheffler. Ben Griffin, plus 5,000.
So same.
So I think you just take that and every other major or tournament he's in, plus 5,000 feels like the odds for him to win that.
I like that.
Scotty asks, hey guys, what's a more effective marketing strategy? Having a giant green insect as a mascot for your Civil War-themed hockey club or selling fudge from Uranus?
Well, this is tough for me because obviously the Blue Jackets and Stinger have my heart. But, yeah, the green bug just has never... It makes sense now because we're used to it. But that green bug has never been. I don't know how it's been associated with the Blue Jackets. But Uranus fudge, that gets your attention. It makes me want to stop in.
I will say the lime green, when he's walking around the arena, he does stick out. But the fudge from Uranus, the sign alone, does enough work for me to where that's some of the best marketing.
I think if they could go back and do it again, maybe a neon green bug wouldn't be where the mascot would go, because you always do have to explain it to people. I've had the pleasure of introducing people to Blue Jackets hockey over the past couple of seasons that have never done a hockey game before and really have no idea what the Blue Jackets are, but outside of they're just Columbus's NHL team. And every time I think I'm 3 for 3 on what is that thing?
I will say, if we're going to combine the Blue Jackets and marketing in Uranus fudge, maybe we should have kept Boomer around.
Well,
maybe in that style of marketing, Boomer would have been the way to go.
All right, we've got a couple on Twitter. They're just responding to the best Wi-Fi. A network has no name from Christopher. That's pretty good. Rich says, personal favorite, pretty fly for a Wi-Fi.
Oh, that is really nice. I like that a lot.
Chris asks in the YouTube chat, hey guys, what's the biggest screw up you've had at work that didn't get you fired? He says he once okayed electrical work that was not approved officially. He wasn't fired, and he says he probably should have been.
Oh, goodness. Man, this is tough. I don't know if there's one where... Gosh, I don't know if there's been anything. I mean, there's been times where in radio, maybe I didn't put the right spot in or didn't get a spot in on time, or maybe like here, I forgot to put the sports center in.
That's always a classic.
So the bed just ran. I don't know if I've ever had a mess up that was a fireable offense. I'm really going to have to go back and think about this.
See, I have one. I don't know if it's a fireable offense or not, but I I was planning to share it during 3 things, so I'm going to save it. But it happened yesterday, and I'll tell you.
On this program?
Not on this program when I was upstairs, and I don't want to share too much, but it was tough. It was a tough look for me.
I've sworn on the air before. I've never said the F word, but I've dropped a couple of words that are part of the no-no list.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, there's been the dump button.
Yeah.
That you can erase 2-3 seconds of what was just said.
So no F-bomb Jen, but you have...
No, even hers didn't really go out over the air. I mean, it hit the YouTube feed, but you're able to, because we have, I think, 3 chances for oopsie daisies to not have it get within the purview of the FCC.
That's why you got to be on the YouTube feed. You get all the good stuff.
You get all the F-bombs. Yeah, we'll just do an F-bomb only show, Isaiah. Just keep you on your toes. You have that button ready like I asked?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Chimney Cheekwa.
His burner asks.
I thought you were cursing. We just talked about the dump button.
I'm not
Here
going
we go.
If I was going to do all of that and then drop the F-bomb, I don't think it would have been as good. What I want to do, if I'm keeping Isaiah on his toes,
timing,
is do it just in a random segment. Like if in the next segment when we talk about the basketball Buckeyes, I just throw it out there, see if he's quick on the trigger. Hit that button again.
Chimney Cheekwa.
Chimney Cheekwa's burner asks, hey guys, as the official show of the Aviators, any possibility of a BFS event at one of the games?
I mean, anything's possible if someone's going to step up and pay for it, right?
I will say, yeah, anything with that is possible. It might be difficult to get an official Bishop and Friends event at Historic Crew Stadium, but I think I'm comfortable saying that I'm going to be at one or several Aviators games this upcoming season.
Yeah, I definitely plan on being there. I don't know if it will be show official, right, where the show is out there doing something for a game, or even a Reeser and Tito Fan Sports Saturday, but I definitely plan on being at a couple Aviators games this season.
That's one of the things I always throw out the Saturday Spectacular. If they want to send us anywhere, if you are a business owner and you want 2 real idiots like Eric Reeser and Jeff Thidoff to come into a sports show at your business, we're available and we're cheap. So if that's not a good sales pitch, I don't necessarily know what is.
Tito might pay you to be out there.
Tito would pay your business.
Yeah, Tito might pay you to just sponsor him to come out.
Zachary on Twitter asks, hey guys, tomorrow's my 25th birthday, and I'm heading to my first Ohio State basketball game on Sunday. Then he asks, do you guys have any perks, maybe courtside tickets that would make a perfect gift? He thought it wouldn't hurt to ask. It's a good ask, but there's nobody on this program right now that could offer any kind of perks.
Yeah, especially if there's no Uncle Beau here. There's no way.
He would be the one.
There's any perks. You might want to reach out to the Buckeye show or the fan warm-up show or something like that, but I don't think lowly friends here have anything.
Beamer might be able to get you the hookup. Timmy definitely the hookup. I don't know against Purdue. That feels like a game where you're going to need to have donated several dollars to Ohio State's NIL efforts. But good job, everybody, today for, hey, guys. We don't have enough to do it for 2 segments, but maybe next week.
A really good segment, though.
As a quality segment. Tomorrow we'll do the mailbox. We'll read your emails at 10 o'clock. I got one to my personal email. I don't know where you're getting these from. I don't know where you're getting my email from, but I will share that with you coming up next. It's just a little teaser for what we've got in store for Thursday at 10 a.m. We'll do some emails next. It's Bishop and Friends on the Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
With all that can go wrong in your home, it's enough to make you say, oh, brother. With Brothers Roofing and Construction, one call covers it all. Roofing, siding, rotting decks, bad chimneys. We take care of it all. And we do it right the first time.
I'll tell you what, life is simple. When you feel good, it makes everything better. Hey, it's Anthony, and you may laugh that I go on and on about my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store, but ever since I got them, it's changed my outlook completely. When I know every day my knees, back, hips are going to feel supported and aligned, it carries me to the finish line of my day. You know I sit enough doing the radio show. I want to be able to go out, walk, basically be on my feet without the pain I was feeling before. This has been such a great journey, knowing that my arch supports from the Good Feet store are not going to just wear out like everything I used to buy over the counter. And maybe the best part, I don't have to choose between what shoes I want to wear. My arch supports go with me. I pop them in any pair that I want to wear. And if you're like me and your lower back hurts, I fully recommend going in, taking the free test walk. You'll feel the difference. The Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway and Stringtown Road in Grove City and at goodfeet.com.
Hey, everybody, it's Jeremy Birmingham Berm from the Austin and Berm Show on 97.1 The Fan. I hit maintenance mode after dropping 35 pounds with Awaken 180. The Awaken 180 coaches made it simple. Now pizza and ice cream are back, but the cravings aren't. That's a complete mindset shift. Awaken180weightloss.com.
At Babs R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement. As the Midwest's fastest growing 5-star bathroom remodeler, we're more than just transformations. We're a community driven by a mission to bring your dreams to life. Our installation team, part of the Babs R Us community, isn't just skilled. They're dedicated to respecting your home. Each day, they bring craftsmanship and hustle, turning your dream space, no matter the size, into reality. Together, we embrace a culture that values diversity, collaboration, and giving back. From supporting local projects to fostering a workplace where every voice is valued. Babs R Us is more than a company. It's a community of experts. We're also expanding locations to create more possibilities for homeowners across the Midwest. Wherever you are, you'll find us ready to turn your dreams into something you can see, feel, and enjoy every day. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BAB to schedule your free estimate or go to babsrus.com. Babs R Us, where dreams soak in.
Registration for the Fan 5K is now open. Join your favorite personalities June 20th at Otterbein University. The Fan 5K features a medal, t-shirt, free race photos, and a post-race party.
Get your spot today at 971therace.com.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wensing.
This is National Public Schools Week, and Ohio's educators are proud to serve the 1.6 million public school students in our state. We know the power of public schools firsthand. We believe in the promise of providing high-quality education to everyone. To our public school educators, students, and families, thank you.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Although we started off with some clouds, we will become sunny throughout the day today with highs getting into the upper 40s, but breezy winds will continue. For tonight, partly cloudy overnight with lows down into the 20s. Winds start to taper off, and then as we go into Thursday, starting off mostly cloudy, becoming sunny throughout the day with our highs getting into the low 40s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfollow with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Common man, a radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan. Our top men are working on everything except this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
As someone who makes mistakes frequently, I've gotten really good at acknowledging those mistakes. So there's something for the kids out there.
You don't do that, do you, Reese?
I owe apologies to several in our YouTube chat because I missed their hey guys. So in fact, we can do more of the segment sponsored by our lovely friends at High Bank Distillery Co. Ace asks, hey guys, would you rather be the best in the world at a useless trick or skill or a Division I level athlete at a normal sport?
I think the Division I athlete is the right answer here. But there is sometimes if you just have some kind of goofy skill or bar trick where it is just really cool. But I think the Division I athlete is the right answer.
It feels like the Division I athlete is a lot cooler to have But over the course of time, as you get older, that fades a little bit. Having a useless party trick that's really, really cool could come in handy once you get up in age a little bit. I'll take the useless party trick.
Isaiah, you crushed it because I do think it's based off of your age. I see on Instagram, there's this guy, Ronnie, and I don't know his last name, but he can chug a beer with in a second. And that's a useless trick I would kind of like to have.
If you could pick the trick, that would definitely be the better choice. I think if they're giving you a random useless skill, then I don't know how much I'm into that. If I could pick the skill, chugging a beer, that'd be cool.
Well, it'd have to be just a party trick. And not just chugging a beer, but like one-touching a beer in a mug would just be a fun trick to just throw out there at parties. Because I guess it would have to be a useless trick that you can just throw out for friends at parties. That's it. But I think if you asked me 10 years ago, I'd say, I'd like to be a D1 athlete. But that ship sailed a long, long time. Phil asks, hey guys, if you had unlimited money and the space to do it, would you pick a pool or a hot tub for your backyard? He says his fiance argues about it with him once a week.
So, I am a kid that grew up in water. I loved swimming and swam from an early age. Would just be in the water all the time growing up. Give me the hot tub. I love a hot tub. There's nothing like going out, sipping a drink in the hot tub when it's snowing. You can use the hot tub all year long. The pool you can only use like 6 months here where we live, but that hot tub, even in the 100-degree weather, you may not always want to be in it, but maybe the muscles are a little sore, been doing some yard work or something, pop in the hot tub. I'm team hot tub all day, every day.
I think if we lived in Florida, I would lean pool, but for you, same reason, Bake. You get that hot tub year-round. I can get my fiance in the hot tub year-round. That sounds like a better deal for me than the couple months in the summer. And even last year, I think about in the summertime in Ohio, it's so hit or miss. Maybe there's some rain. Maybe it isn't the best summer. You don't really get to use that hot tub or pool. The hot tub, I could put that to good use.
There's always dangers in reading the YouTube chat live when you're on the air, because this from Phil, I could see Bake being like a damn hippo in the water, just intimidating.
Just all day. Just floating and lurking.
I mean, I've heard that that's the most dangerous animal you can encounter in the water.
Kills
is a
more people
hippopotamus
than other animal,
when
right?
that thing charges at you. Give me a pool.
Listen, the crocodile hunter always said, and you saw the crazy stuff he did with snakes and crocodiles. Whenever he was out there doing something and a hippo came along, he ran the other way. He's like, because I don't know hippos and those things are dangerous.
All right, so you have Ohio State at Iowa tonight at 9 o'clock, an opportunity for the basketball Buckeyes to get a quad one win. We read emails every Thursday at 10 a.m. I'm contractually obligated to not give you the address to tell you if you go at 971thefan.com, it's available there somewhere. And I have no idea, Sean, where you got my email address, but he sends this. Eric, respectfully, what is the deal with the flagship home of Ohio State athletics and your show trying to instill this absurd notion that Ohio State men's basketball cannot be excellent because the football team is? Are you guys just completely unaware of the Michigan program, that Ohio State is one of the largest athletic programs, or that OSU is 6th all-time in Final Four appearances? He says, just beyond mind-boggling. Thanks, Sean. Sean, thank you for sending that in. Again, I have no idea where he got that email from. But I think it is absurd to not think that Ohio State can't compete for the NCAA tournament every single year. I've been saying it for as long as we've been doing Bishop and Friends. It's not to me as much as the money that Ohio State has to use on portal persons. It's their allocation of money towards persons in the transfer portal. I think, yes, you'd like to have more to be able to spend. And if the reporting's to be believed that Ohio State's at the kind of bottom end of the conference in terms of money, that you'd like to have a little bit more. But I look at this roster that the Buckeyes have right now, the roster that they had last year, and it's like these guys weren't cheap. I see money that's spent on guys out of the transfer portal. It's just wasted. That's just a waste. There are guys on this roster. You look at the hundreds of thousands of dollars they're getting, and they're not even going to be, they can't even shoot the ball. Or they're told almost, it feels like, they don't even shoot the basketball. So to me, it goes more to allocation rather than how much you've got.
So the one thing I will say to Sean in this, can Ohio State basketball be better? Yes, and they should be. I will also say, and Michigan did win a national championship in 2023. What has their program been since then? And we all know the lengths they had to go to stay at the top of the sport. And Ohio State has not had that drop-off. They've been consistently there in football. Ohio State is a top 5 team every year in college football. There has been really no drop, and there's really been no drop in Ohio State football for like the past 50, 60 years. It has been right there. It is the priority. It is number one. It always will be. It always should be. I will also say this, Deshaun. Ohio State doesn't have a Larry Ellison that is just liquid, unlimited, and can give as much money as he wants to the football or the basketball program. There's not a lot of programs around the country, if you look right now, that are top football and basketball programs. Alabama's up near the top. Well, look what's happened to their football team. And some may say, well, that's because Nick Saban's not there anymore, and maybe so, but they're not putting the resources probably in the football team like they used to, or everybody else has caught up now to the resources they used to put into the football team. So, yeah, Ohio State should be better at basketball while continuing to be a top 5 football program. But it's going to be harder and harder, especially if Ohio State doesn't have the Cody Culbertsons, the Larry Ellisons, the Mark Cubans, the people that are very liquid and can keep just putting money into programs.
I think it is an absurd thing to think that Ohio State can't be elite in football and in basketball. But I also understand the point that you're trying to make, where Ohio State, unlike those schools, doesn't have one singular place they can go for donations at the drop of a hat, that it does need to be a collective effort. And that's why I keep harping on the idea that you've got to do what you can with the money that you have to make the right decisions for persons out of the transfer portal and persons you want to retain from your rosters, because you've got to avoid apathy at all costs. Because when you see the Schottenstein Center, when Ohio State has marquee matchups, and I hope that's not going to be the case for the game Sunday against Purdue, but when you're not able to fill that thing, it has that kind of ripple effect. But I look to the coaching staff for the basketball Buckeyes. I look to Jake Diebler, and I say, you've got to make better decisions with what you've got, because crying poor just isn't going to work.
And that's the key right there, Reese, because when you're a coach of a high-profile school like Ohio State, when you get to the point in time where maybe you don't have the best players, but what's your job as a coach? It's to elevate what you have. And that applies to the transfer portal, too. The NIL dollars that you have to spend them in the best way possible. That's your job as the coach. And so no matter what they're giving you, you have to make the most of it. And right now, we're not making the most of it.
And it's not to say that Diebler's made that excuse, but I've heard that excuse made for him, that because where Ohio State spends, you cannot have these expectations. I completely disagree. Now, what is in front of this team is opportunity. Opportunity for a quad 1 win tonight against Iowa.
Real quick on that, we can talk about, you got to spend your money better and you got to spend your money more wisely. But the fact of the matter is, and we don't know, we don't have specific numbers, but everything you hear is that Ohio State is in the bottom third in spending of the Big Ten.
Right.
They're somewhere between 12th and 14th is all the rumors you hear out there.
Correct.
I mean,
that's not great.
Last time I checked, when you go to Golden Corral, you're not going to get the same steak that you do at Hyde Park.
No.
Or even Longhorn. So sometimes you do get what you pay for.
That's true. Yeah, it's certainly an analogy, the one that you just used. But again, the quad 1 opportunity awaits for Jake Diebler and company. You'll hear from him in 2 minutes. It's Bishop and Friends on the Fan.
Get your furnace fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling. 1-800-COOLING.
Steve here from USA Insulation. Let me ask you a question. Do you know why your thermos keeps your coffee hot? Because it's insulated with foam. So let us do the same thing and insulate your home with our premium foam for only $99 a month, interest-free. The cold weather's here. There's nothing better than sitting in a warm, comfortable home with your loved ones and keeping that cold, drafty air outside. So make the call today, 529-2440, 529-2440, or USAinsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years.
I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
It's Skyway time at Skyline Chili. Come get your Skyline 3, 4, or 5-way with 50% extra cheese at no extra charge. Regular and large ways only at participating Skyline restaurants for a limited time.
Get Eco.
ECO. When your drain is clogged, our drain team will clear it for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it will stay clear for at least a year, or we'll clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Go to geteco.com.
Disasters strike, fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. Direct Relief delivers. No politics, no red tape. Direct Relief is a lifeline to people in crisis. So check them out at directrelief.org. And if you can, donate.
Want to know anything about the fans' contests, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
The best hair on the air. You were listening to Bishop and Friends.
Yes, you are. Eric Reeser, Ryan Baker, Isaiah Jacob with you on a First Friday edition of the program. In about 15 minutes, we'll get Ryan Baker's officially endorsed. As I'm a little bit more comfortable saying winter's done. We're looking at 46 with a giant glowing orb in the sky right now in central Ohio. So I think it's supposed to be a little wetter next week in terms of the forecast, but temperatures on the up and up. So we'll say it, we'll speak it into existence, and RIP to winter, but not rest in peace. They're not dead yet, the basketball Buckeyes. In fact, they're as bubblicious as any team really in the country for the next four. Iowa tonight, Purdue at the Schottenstein Center on Sunday. Ohio State could be getting healthy at the right time. You didn't have, against Michigan State, a fully healthy Amari Bynum. You didn't have Devin Royal at all. There's kind of a game time decision there with illness. Junie Mobley has made strides to get back on the court, but was ruled out for that Michigan State game. Here's Jake Diebler first on how John Mobley Jr. is doing with that broken finger.
Getting better and better each day. You know, I think that's the encouraging thing. You know, with this injury, there was never like this specific date. There's just kind of, I guess, a threshold that has to be met, and you know, so it's a day-to-day thing for him. But there's been progress, and he is working so hard to get back, you know, as quickly as he can.
Adam Jardy had said that Mobley was as close as Devin Royal in terms of we walked it right up until game time for his availability against the Spartans. So both of those players trending in the right direction for tonight's game. As with Amari Bynum, who was also dealing with an illness, here's Diebler on Bynum and Royal.
Better. Both of them have been working really, really hard to get healthier, and sometimes that's sitting still and resting, right? And you know, but they were here yesterday, and you know, were able to get up and move and do some things. So that was great progress.
And so for the basketball Buckeyes, it's teams that you've got remaining on your schedule. Penn State, not going to be a given. Indiana, you're, I think, a game above in terms of the conference. They're 8-9. I think you're doing a little bit better there, but you're in a similar spot with some of these teams. At least two of the last four teams, you're looking to be one of those final at-large spots from the Big Ten. Jake Diebler on if he addresses the tournament resume with his guys.
I don't think, you know, getting that specific before we go out on the floor really adds any value. I think our guys, you know, they know that right now every win is important, but they know that, you know, there's big wins available, and that our focus right now is beating Iowa. Like, that's it. I also know that there's a reality that in a week we could have 2 quad 1 wins, you know, regardless. Like, that's kind of the way that the net works, right? Things fluctuate. There's a few teams that are really close to shifting around. So we control what we could control. And right now that's how we prepare for Iowa and ultimately how we play against Iowa. That's like our focus. But I understand, I understand all that. And, you know, like, yeah, I mean, trust me, there's a couple teams I'm rooting for a little bit harder than others, you know. I'm aware, but mostly just on how it pertains to, our resume. Like, that's it. Outside of all the other stuff, there's so much basketball to be played that, like, I know our resume, and I know some things that could help it, rooting for those things to happen, right? And then outside of that, like, it's tunnel vision on what we can control, and that's how our team is right now. And that's part of why I think we've been able to respond, really well, is because we're focused on the task at hand, and right now it is all hands on deck that are available, for Iowa.
You can't rely on anybody else. It's got to be the roster that you have. It's got to be as healthy as humanly possible, and you've got to knock off this win one, lose one streak that you've been on since early January.
Well, don't knock it off tonight, because that would be the win one, right?
Yeah, I guess you got to get it back in the win column.
You need to win this one tonight. Let's knock that off when you play Purdue, but let's not knock it off tonight. Let's go ahead and go beat Iowa tonight on the road. As angry as I am about the situation that happened with this Buckeye basketball team on Saturday and the whole Devin Royal being on the bench and not playing, but yet he's too sick to play, but he can sit with his teammates and laugh and yuck it up. There's no doubt that this team needs Devin Royal tonight. There's no doubt. Hopefully he's ready to go, and John Mobley Jr. is out there tonight because this team needs him. And then if you get those guys back, and hopefully Amari Bynum is 100%, I need the same effort that you got from Michigan State game. I need everybody the same effort. You guys have to go out there. The last time we saw Devin Royal, he was great in the Wisconsin win. I need that same effort from everyone. If you're going to be out there, I need that effort. Even if it means, like a Devin Royal, you're not feeling well, even if that means you can just give me 20 minutes. You can only play half the game. You can't go 35 like normal. You give me 20 of the hardest minutes you've ever played in your damn life tonight.
Because you're going to need what you got from Bruce Thornton, 32 points in 40 minutes. Against Purdue on Sunday. You've also got to do way better from the free throw line. 10 of 17 was what Ohio State was in East Lansing. That's a 6-point ball game. So health, the simple things, and then the effort, and you can control two of those three at the very least. But it feels like everything for Ohio State is very much within their control in terms of making the NCAA tournament. We'll have that game again on the Fan at 9 o'clock with pregame coverage. Brandon Beam will be in here to gently warm you up starting at 8 o'clock. So we've talked about the NFL Scouting Combine and its continuance today in Indianapolis. Beau Bishop has been out there for the past 2 days. He joined us at 9:30. If you missed any of his conversation with us, you can go back and do that wherever it is you do your podcasting, or on the YouTube streams, got that little scroll dot. You can just move all the way back to 9:30 and then catch up with us later on in the day.
You could also go to 971BFS on Twitter. The interview is posted over there as well.
Beau's going to be back with us tomorrow for the full 3 hours, but just a couple of news and notes from the Scouting Combine. So Caden McDonald is not going to be participating in defensive lineman drills. The Combine, it looks like those were going to start Thursday for him at 3 o'clock. He's instead going to just work out for Ohio State's Pro Day. That'll be on March 25th. On Thursday, you're going to get media interviews from Davis Nigbinosin, Caleb Downs, Lorenzo Stiles, Will Kazmarek, and Max Clare. And then Friday, Carnell Tate and C.J. Donaldson will be available to speak with the media. Workouts for those two, Tate and Donaldson, scheduled for Saturday, but I'd be interested to see if Carnell even did anything, if he did route running or drills, rather than just do it for Ohio State's Pro Day.
We heard Beau earlier today talk about Davis Nigbinosin, and just his size and physicality makes him someone that these NFL teams are interested. We heard him talk about Max Clare and how it sounds like he's going to be tight end number 2 off the board behind Kenyon Sadiq of Oregon in this draft. Will Kazmarek is a very intriguing guy to me for Ohio State because we know how good of a blocker he was. Didn't do a ton in the pass game, but was very good in the run game here at Ohio State. And Ohio State has had a few tight ends here recently in Luke Farrell and Nick Van Nett, that guys that maybe weren't the most flashy tight end in an NFL where we like the tight end catching a lot of touchdown passes. But because they were good blockers, solid teammates, special team contributors, they have had really, really long NFL careers. And I feel like Will Kazmarek just kind of fits right into that mold of those two, and he's going to be playing in the league for a long time.
And so for the Browns, we joke that Beau's the general manager of Cleveland. Their actual general manager is Andrew Berry, and he spoke yesterday about Cleveland's quarterback competition for 2026.
Right now, it's February 24th? Thank you. I appreciate it, Scott. So, we don't have to make that decision anytime soon. I think any player that we have in that room, we would expect to compete to earn a role. Those two would be no different.
He was asked about Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel. There is a Deshaun Watson element to this, where I think if you've got, for Todd Monken, a quarterback that is healthy, he has just as good of a shot as anybody to start for the team. Because they're not going to they're going to have conversations about Malik Willis, but I think we can be honest with each other here. Certainly hope so, that he's not going to be a free agent splash they're not going to make if it costs them too much.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to pay.
Right.
And in the running for a Malik Willis. I don't even know if they're going to be able to pay or be in the running for like a Daniel Jones.
Probably
I don't know
not.
if they'll give up the capital and the contract it will take to get a Mac Jones. If I do think Cleveland will bring another vet into this room. I actually don't see Cleveland. Maybe they should. I don't know if I see Cleveland drafting a quarterback in this draft. Maybe later they would take a flyer on someone.
Sure.
I wonder if Cleveland, and I don't know, again, maybe the bidding would be too much, but Kirk Cousins has a lot of money coming his way from Atlanta. I wonder if he's a veteran that they would want to try to bring into this room if they can do it on the cheap. Would they be interested in bringing a Joe Flacco back? I'm guessing Deshaun Watson isn't interested in that because he wasn't interested in that in the first time. So I do think they're going to find a veteran somewhere to bring into this room. But, yeah, I don't think they're going to be in the running for any of the quarterbacks that a lot of other teams are going to be interested in.
And they've got, obviously, questions on the offensive line. They've got questions everywhere. For a Browns offense that was as bad as it was last season, there isn't any stone you can leave unturned. Their offensive line is a mess and going to be a mess. But, the quarterback situation, it's going to be the guys you've got right now are probably it, barring the guys you are probably it. And I'm just trying to talk myself into a situation where Deshaun Watson starts a game for the Cleveland Browns in 2026, despite my disdain for having him on the roster and in that quarterback room. Baker's going to give you his officially endorsed, because, boy, if we're talking Watson, you might need a drink. His officially endorsed coming up next, and we'll do 3 things on a First Friday. It's Bishop and Friends on The Fan.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
This Buckeye Football Impact Report is brought to you locally by Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Ohio State football. Impact Report.
Ohio State stocked up in the 2026 class, signing 28 players across 12 different states. While next year's signees span all across the country, the Buckeyes still went to their backyard, adding safety Caden Gebhardt and linebacker C.J. Santa from Olentangy High School. General Manager Mark Pantoni on Gebhardt, who flipped his commitment from Clemson to Ohio State.
He's a guy that another senior film eval. Every game you turn on, he's making 10, 12, 15 tackles a game. And so when that opportunity arose, we were very excited to have him be a Buckeye.
Pantoni added Santa checks off all the boxes for linebackers coach James Laurinaitis.
He's tough. He's what James is looking for, of a guy who can go sideline to sideline, great instincts, physical. And so he was an early identifier guy.
This report brought to you by Safe Light Auto Glass. This is Tyler Danberg on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelight.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Buckeye fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Around here, it's all-wheel drive all year round, and Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone, like the best-selling Camry. Now through March 2nd, get 4.99 APR financing on a new 26 Camry, or lease a new Camry LE for just $279 a month for 39 months with $36.99 due at signing, with approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details, or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
This weekend, I'm inviting you behind the scenes. Stop by our open house at Rosati Windows and see why we are the #1 replacement window company in Central Ohio. Visit our showroom and meet the people who stand behind our reputation. Then tour our factory and see all that goes into manufacturing our top-rated window. Visit this weekend and save 35% on windows ordered by March 31st. We're easy to find at 4200 Roberts Road, just east of 270.
Common Man here for my friends at Germain. Germain is having a huge President's Day sales event all month long at all of their Columbus locations. This month and this month only, all qualified pre-owned vehicles come with a 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on top of the $1,000 price promise. No one's going to sell you a car for less. With nearly 4,000 vehicles and 30 brands, there's only one website you need when shopping for your next car. It's GoGermain.com. That's GoGermain.com. Tell them Common Man sent you.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
After putting up with Dom Tiberi for a decade, the broadcast gods gave Beau these two. This is Bishop and Friends.
Yes, these two, Eric Reeser, Ryan Baker, Isaiah Jacob with us as well. Beau Bishop will be back with us for all 3 hours tomorrow as he comes back from the NFL's scouting combine. The Daily Fan Poll at 971 The Fan asks, do you consider tonight's game at Iowa for the Ohio State men's basketball team a must-win?
So I said earlier, it's not a must-win, and they're not must-wins until you're out of it. However, with this team, I don't think they're going to beat Purdue, and I don't believe they're going to have a long run in the Big Ten tournament. So, yes, I think this is a must-win for them because it's a last chance for them to get a big-time win on their ledger. So, yeah, I think they have to tonight.
91% of respondents agree with you. It's going to be a 9 o'clock tip, 8 o'clock Fan pregame coverage. Beam will be in here to warm you up gently. Do you have an officially endorsed drink recommendation for that?
Bishop and Friends present First Friday, officially endorsed because everyone deserves 2 Fridays.
You drink for the wrong reasons. My generation, we drink because it's good, because it feels better than unbuttoning your collar, because we deserve it. We drink because it's what men do.
Well, of course, we've got a drink because if you're watching the Buckeye basketball team, you're probably going to need a drink. And I actually had a couple of these last week and really enjoyed them. It's a Kentucky Mule. So what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 ounces of your favorite bourbon, some Whiskey War from High Bank would be great. I also think Four Roses would be awesome with this. You're going to mix that. Well, first of all, you're going to throw a couple cubes in the bottom of your highball glass. Then you're going to pour the bourbon in. You're going to mix that with half an ounce of lime juice. Then you're going to top the highball glass with some ginger beer, or if you don't have any ginger beer, you could use ginger ale as well. Throw a lime wedge on there, and it is a delicious, light, refreshing treat for you as you watch the Buckeye basketball game tonight.
A suckable selection on this first Friday in advance of Ohio State and Iowa.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, first thing out of me, because of the daily fan poll, I will, on February 25th, promise to you, I will do whatever I can in my power to never ask again about a must-win game. I'm done. I'm putting must-win game and the talk of it, because I'm hearing myself read the daily fan poll like, all right, I'm sick of this phrase. So it is going in a box. I'm putting that box in a canoe, and I'm giving that a Viking funeral. No more must-win anything for your friend Eric. That is what I promise to try.
Well, we got to make everything dramatic, Reese. So that's the way to make it
Tired
dramatic.
of this, Grandpa.
And listen, it's not your fault. Ohio State basketball has put us in this spot. First thing out of me, I did not realize this, and I don't know why it's circling social media today, but Brock Lesnar has a 16-year-old son named Turk who plays hockey.
Of course, his name's Turk.
He looks like a mashup between Brock Lesnar and Buzz from the Home Alone movies. He's got just like this big thing of red hair, and he is massive on his skates. And there's just videos of him just going around, taking kids out, just checking people, knocking them down everywhere. The Beast Incarnate playing hockey. That's scary.
I talked about this earlier on the show. I had a big mess up yesterday. Big mess up. As you guys know, I work upstairs sometimes doing digital edits of the show, and I post that out online. So if you like those, then I make them. If you don't like them, then I don't make them. But
there you go. It's that damn Tyler's fault.
Yep. And Tyler's a big part of it. So yesterday, he's hooking up the fan Instagram on my phone. So I'm like, okay, great. That way I can schedule posts, do different stuff.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
So he gets on Instagram, and he's showing me how to schedule posts. It's the only thing he had to do on my phone. We have the phone set on my desk, and we're sitting there. He's in his rolly chair, and he goes, this is how you do it, and he clicks the post button. And as you guys know, when you hit post on Instagram, it pops up about 6 or 7 photos of your camera roll. And Tyler got a nice little sneak peek of my wonderful fiance.
Oh, boy.
And he took his rolly chair, and he just kind of rolled away. And I didn't know what to say at this point as I looked at him, and he looked at me. And so we just continued on. And he said, I think you've got it. And I said, you know what? I think I have it as well. Didn't show me how to schedule the post. We just kind of kept moving on with the day. Didn't talk about it. So, Tyler, I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. You're welcome. I don't know what you want from me. But I had sorely mismanaged how ready my phone was for work.
My question is, does the fiance know about this?
And the best part was about 30 minutes after that, I swear to you on my life, she texted me and said, hey, because right now she's getting her doctorate right now, so she's away at school. She texted me and said, hey, I was just scrolling through my camera roll, and I've really been missing you. And I replied back, man, do I have a story for you. Thankfully, she took it with a nice grain of salt.
Kids in your technologies. We're about to go on 971 The Fan on Instagram with a Hugh Freeze kind of moment.
Problem with mixing work accounts and your own accounts on your phone.
So make sure you follow us. You never know what you'll see on there.
You never know what it could. I don't know how, Isaiah, we could possibly follow that
should have been a third thing.
But yeah, it was a pretty good job out of you. Real quick, I don't know if you missed the news, but Sidney Crosby's out 4 to 6 weeks. I think that lower body injury that he suffered in the Olympics. It's like the absolute worst nightmare for Zach Werenski, but not the case. He'll be back for the Blue Jackets for their second half of the regular season. I'm as excited for the potential this Blue Jackets team has. Obviously, it starts tomorrow night in Boston that I've been for the CBJ in a long time, and I do think it's the Olympics that's got a lot to do with it.
Second thing for me, we talked about this a little bit here in Andrew Barry's comments. I kind of had a feeling about this was going to happen anyway, but I'm convinced now. QB1 for your Cleveland Browns this year is going to be Deshaun Watson.
Oh, boy.
And we're just all going to have to get ready and used to this. Yeah. It's going to happen.
Probably.
I hate that, Baker. I hate that so much. Coming up next, Rothman and Ice. They got a loaded show. Schefter at 12:30. Jackets defenseman Dante Fabro filling in for Zach Werenski on Hockey and Hounds at 1. Adam King live from the Combine at 1:30. And then Bobby Carpenter in studio at 2.
I was trying to find this when I was doing my second thing, but Isaiah, that story you told was incredible. This from Crosby this morning. He was meeting with Penguins reporters, said, quote, "I was a lot closer than I thought to playing in the gold medal game. Didn't think it was necessarily going to be an option. The chance that I had a chance and was close to it. The staff there was unbelievable," talking about Team USA and the Milan Cortina games. It's 4 to 6 weeks. So it does feel like, per Crosby's quotes this morning, it's on the 4-week side of that. But the Penguins need him as they've got the Blue Jackets chomping at the bit to overtake their spot in the Metropolitan Division.
Final thing for me, I'm going to be locked into the hoops tonight. 8 o'clock, I'm going to have it on Peacock. I'm going to be watching the OSU women. Hopefully they can take care of business against number 8, Michigan. And then come 9 o'clock, Jake Diebler and the boys. Let's go. I don't care what Reese said. Keep the win one, lose one, win one, lose one going tonight.
You have to do that.
Win one tonight on the road at Iowa.
Don't lose the next one. Win this one, and then get another win on Sunday against Purdue.
Final thing for me, Cavs get one back last night. They struggle with the Knicks. We didn't talk about it today, but that was a good win for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Bouncing back from OKC. Love to see my Cavs get a win.
It's a double-double for Jarrett Allen against the New York Knicks. What's happened with this Cavaliers team?
Double-double machine, Jarrett Allen.
6-1 with James Harden. They're going to keep it going. You need to keep it locked here. Rothman and Ice coming up next. Bishop and Friends back tomorrow, 9 a.m. on The Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring?